Hello everybody, it's me Down Under Tea, and we are back for a panel show again. I think that's 3 in a row. Oh no, actually I did a discreet little pre-tape when I was trying to surprise my husband in Perth last night. So if anybody watched my last show, it wasn't actually live. I was lying to my husband. But we are back with episode 157. We've got one panel member down today because I'm not sure why, but he's not here. And so we have got our 3 regs, and let me make sure I'm putting up the right volumes here. Green, blue and orange, yes. Okay, say hi everybody.
Hi everybody.
Hello.
So, like I said, I am throwing open the mic today to any and all questions. Any and all subjects.
Well, I had more of a statement than a question, and through my last, and we just quickly talked about it before we went live. A colleague of mine, Jono, that I work with in the Pilbara, he, unbeknownst to me, was explaining to me that his recent history, they were homeschooling their kids for lots of reasons. But the main one was that they had the ability to mould their children's minds in line more with their values, but still have the curriculum that they need to get done. And I thought, what a great idea. And of course, that conversation went down a rabbit hole of all sorts of cool stuff. But it was wholesome and good, and it was all about his kids. But one of the things that he sort of made me realise, and it was a bit of a penny drop moment, it was sort of weird. I think I thought I already knew it, but it just seemed to make a whole heap of sense right at that moment, was that there's a generation of people from, I'd say, at least 50 and up, maybe 45 and up, who have seen like a ramp up of technology in the last 20 years from being late adolescent / youths, young adults, to now being in their mid of life. And then and they've had children, and some have grandchildren. So they're now in this 2026 era, but we're all sort of were young adults, potentially in the late 80s, early 90s.
Oh, I'm getting echo.
Right through. Anyway, the point of it is that there's a lot of control measures being implemented on the population via technology, aka the telephone, and the way it's linked with government departments and banks and the finance sector. And there's an idea or a belief that the digital ID is going to really link that stuff together. Anyway, a lot of us are against it, but there's a whole lot of younger gen that are going to come through that won't know any different, because that's going to be sort of just implemented and they'll just grow up that way. The key to the story and the conversation was, the penny drop moment was, they're all waiting for us to die so that we can't fight against saying, no, this is not cool for our children. Once we're all dead, they're just going to think it's normal and they're going to get their way.
That was with the vaccine form.
Well, and that was what I said
Microphone, Stephen.
When Jono was saying this to me, I said, yeah, well, this is, maybe that was how they were going to start, speed that process up. Let's get rid of this generation that's going to poison the minds of the young and not let us get our way. So anyway, that's what I just want to say.
I think we have. I don't know whether I've discussed this with you. Oh, that echo's really bad. Why is it feedback like that? I'm not sure. I'll try and figure it out while we're working. But I think we've discussed this before, where it's like, we have been brought up in what they call the Judeo-Christian upbringing, right? And our morals and our ethics and all of that are different. We tried to raise our kids. So the only real hope that we've got is through our own kids and teaching our own kids that no and yes, that they have to stand up for the next generation.
Yeah. But see, what if
But
it's
if we
something-
don't,
okay, so
then
when
there
you-
will never
alright,
be
so-
anyone left.
Okay, so when we grew up, we had 4 TV channels, and that was cool as. Then all of a sudden, you had 24.
We had
Because you
two
had 4, you
in
had 2,
Canberra.
depending on where you live.
Yeah.
That's right. You know, but now you've got, I don't know, all this. So that's normal, like for our kids. That's normal to just have all these choices. But we don't. We never had all those
Well, we
choices.
think we've got lots of choices,
You know?
but they're all pointing the same direction.
Well, but I guess what I'm trying to get at is it's not everything's going to be normalised for the younger gen. Even our kids that are in their 20s, it's sort of normalised because they grew up with internet. They were born with internet.
My kids are in their 40s, but
So they were born into internet. We weren't born into internet.
no, my kids born in the early 80s, early to mid 80s. So internet, I don't think there was internet right.
Mate, I reckon about 87.
Not,
It wasn't so common as what it is, what we know it to be now,
it
but it
may have
started.
just been starting,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't have probably had it
No, well,
at that time.
No, well, I remember I was, and I feel like it was 1987, and I was in a primary school, and it was getting talked about, this WWW, World Wide Web, and we were in year 7 going, oh, you just type anything in, and it will tell you all about it. It's like, what the hell? How's that? Like, what the hell is that? And people tried to explain it. Looking back, we're talking about going back and watching old shows. There was old talk shows about what's this World Wide Web, and it was a whole new concept of stuff, and we had to learn it, change from what we knew to what it now become. But as a whole, now if you're born, you've just got it.
Now it's used to monitor everything about you.
Well, that's how it's
Through
becoming.
that thing that you've got
through
there.
that. Yeah. So another friend of mine just came back from Japan recently.
Yeah.
And extremely technologically advanced Japan. Oh, it always has been. And one thing he noticed, Japan and China, but I'm actually talking about China, not Japan. That was a mistake. He came back from China, and everything is phones. And I said to him, "So what do you mean everything's phones?" He said, "Well, like a lot of people here have their card, and they just swipe your phone on the FPOS machine. There's no actual plastic card for you to use.
At all.
No, you use that, and that is your link to. That's your life. And if that goes flat, you're fucked. You can't catch a train.
Or if they
you can't get petrol in your car.
decide to turn it off.
So here's a funny story. Another young bloke I know, dead set, Connor, God bless him. He's in Kalgoorlie last week. Kalgoorlie, West Australia. He's got his card on his phone.
Oh, they wouldn't accept it.
No.
Oh,
He's got his card on his phone. Shift change. Needs a ride home. Phone's gone flat. Can't get an Uber. Can't get one. Can't get a ride in Australia. In a Kalgoorlie, West Australia. Can't get an Uber because your phone's flat. And not Connor's fault, but that's just it happened to a mate of mine. Like we're already there. Like we're there. You can't. Can you pay a taxi with cash? Maybe. But did he have any? No. He's 20, early 20. So he's this gen. He's this gen of people.
Yeah.
And it's not his fault, but that's what he's normalised. Oh, yeah, have a card on your phone. Life's
But all
good.
of our kids now, do they have cards? Like, do your kids have a plastic card, or will they ever have one?
They have one.
Do they use it, or do they use their phone?
I actually don't know.
Aiden uses his phone.
Does he?
Yep.
Yeah,
So
so-
most of them wouldn't they? Most kids his age will just use their
yeah,
phone.
well,
Pretty
this
sure
guy does.
Mackenzie
Yeah.
does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's on the thing. And if the phone goes flat, if you're remote or you have a late night, whatever, lose your phone.
Or something's
The
gone
gauge
wrong.
Darren's up.
Don't you? And this is where, and so anyway, so for them, that's a thing they're going to think about where we might get caught out if we went that way because I'm not used to using it.
Hi,
Maybe
Daz. How
20
you
bucks in
going,
your
mate?
pocket. Is he there?
He's there.
D. Wilson. Cheers, old son. I know you'd have a fair bit to say about this sort of stuff. What we should do is maybe next month patch you in because Darren's certainly an Australian loyalist and a good old mate of mine from Kalgoorlie, Western Australia. And yeah, he's had a guts full of the way things are going. I don't have a guts full of technology. We've certainly got its uses, and we're not going to get away from, you know, paying
I've
with
had
your
a bit
phone
of a
and
gutful
all
of
that. But we still need to be able to do things in a more traditional sense, because that does still work. And being forced to not do things in a traditional way, be forced out of traditional ways of doing things, i.e. using cash or using your card, or, you know, getting it on tick. You know, that should still be around. Like, if you need to write a note, you can do it. It doesn't all have to be on an iPad. You know, whereas young people, that's all they're going to know. And when the
all they
system
do
falls
know.
over, they're fucked.
won't
Like I
Cash
said,
at
they
some
don't
point.
even know what cursive is.
No, but no, that was just a little bit of something. And Jono, he highlighted some stuff to me about it. And the other funny thing we said, we reckon that there's huge gaps, huge unexplainable gaps in human evolution, let's call it. I think it's what. So we were talking about ancient Egypt. So we were there, and everything that a lot of what we got spoken to about in terms of history when we were there was all 5,000 years ago. When
You weren't there
was
5,000 years ago.
No. But when you're in Egypt and
Yeah.
you're getting shown things,
Yeah.
the when they're dating stuff, they're sort of dating things to 5,000 BC, and that's cool. So 5,000 BC, the Egyptians had gold-pointed spears and armour and, you know, the stuff that they're telling us that they had. Australian Aboriginals, and I'm not picking on them for any particular reason, but we've got dated history that goes 60,000 years. Now, they did not have gold-plated...
That's if you believe any of the stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's all we
could.
could... Again, believe what you're told or not, and a bit of science and a bit of
I
belief.
think in Egypt they've actually got evidence of the things that they're telling you.
Yeah.
Here we've got nothing.
Well, I never saw...
Yeah.
I don't know of any
We've
like
got pyramids
steel-tipped spear.
Pyramids are evidence that they obviously did something wonderful.
Yeah.
Here we've got nothing. Here we've got cave paintings that we're told are Aboriginal paintings, but were actually drawn by Indians that came here 4,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Because it's got all the Hindu gods and stuff on Aboriginal paintings.
Well, this is what we're saying. We're saying there's massive gaps in human evolutionary history. Massive gaps.
I mean, everyone was separated though, so they didn't.
Well, this is what Jono said.
That's
I said they were so far away geographically, there was not an ability to share information, and then slowly, you know, travel became, and however everyone got everywhere, ideas got shared, and things happened. But there's these massive gaps, is what we're saying, and we joked about. Who come up with the idea of making bread, and how did they even know to make it? And like, do you eat that berry and not that berry? So
Well, the
you
ones
eat that
that
one,
didn't know
you eat
dead.
that one. Yeah, that's right. And we all laughed because I said, well, that's how they worked out how to do things, because you died and you didn't. But don't eat that anymore. Eat that one. You know, but there's massive gaps. You know, 5,000 years ago, we didn't have what the Egyptians apparently had. And let's say the Incas, and, you know, they worked out to make iron out of rock. Like, how the fuck did they know that, but they didn't? You know?
Yeah. Well,
so there's a huge gap.
Book of Enoch answers that question.
Does it?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, fallen angels came down to earth and they showed man how to use metals and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, this, and again, so there's a whole system of belief that may explain it if you choose to believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's interesting.
And like giants, you know, carrying the rocks for the pyramids, like how did they get those giant rocks there all perfectly cut, fitting in all together?
Yeah. Huge gaps. There's massive gaps. You know? And Chinese history, I know nothing about it. And Japanese history, no bugger all about
Well,
it.
Yusuf gave us a different description of how the blocks got up there.
What did he say? I forget.
Well, remember he said they had all the Jewish, like the Israelites were enslaved. They had them like carting them up.
procession.
Pulleys. They had like train tracks. They used to pull them on
Rollers,
like tracks.
Yeah.
rollers, like they.
Tracks.
Well, they
What
would
do
have
call them?
like
The pulley things.
they would have like, from what I remember, they had like round logs.
Yeah.
And they would roll it up the log, and they'd take the one from the back and put it at the front and keep that going like that. And there would
Huge
be
amount of
people
effort.
pulling them.
It's
But
how
like,
many
when you
slaves
see
you've
the
named.
bricks, the blocks that they use,
It's like one of them's the
each
size of a
block.
shed.
Oh well, not quite, but pretty fucking big.
The idea of the fallen angels coming down, to me, that like I'm torn between believing in the Bible and believing in evolution. I'm torn, right? But what Stephen just said, and then I think of today, where people come up with all this technology and all these other ideas. There's no fallen angels coming down and telling us how to do this.
No.
It's man's brain.
Yeah.
So I think I can't.
Well, then how do you answer his question?
Well, the thing is now,
how do they know to find metals in the ground?
It's in their brain. It's just ingrained
but how do they know to find metals in the ground? That's more crazy than
People
the stuff that they do with technology now.
Yeah, I know. For that era,
of ways to do things
like dig a hole,
on their own.
burn that rock and see what it does. Like, who would even think
build a
that?
car out of it. Build a plane out of it so you can fly in the sky.
I know.
But that's what I mean.
And you just sit in that little tin can.
And this is what I say about how there's massive gaps in how we've
I think
evolved.
we
You fly
underestimate
across the sky.
the
How does that
human
happen?
brain, quite honestly. I really do.
100%, yeah.
People underestimate it. The people are using the brain to come up with these ideas. There's no one coming down from heaven.
But how could
and
someone
telling
use
us
their
how to
brain
do
to
it?
come up with the idea to build stuff out of the ground?
Yeah, I know.
It doesn't
That's
matter.
just
How do they
crazy.
come up with the ideas that they come up with now?
Well, they already have the
there.
foundations.
ideas
They have the
just come into
foundations
their
laid
heads.
for them.
Yeah.
We
But
need
But how did
something.
those foundations start?
We
that's
need
what-
a
that's
way
what
to
we're
build
getting.
this, or
Yeah.
we need a way to, dig a hole, or whatever. And they think of a way.
Have a go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but digging a hole is a lot different to knowing that somehow there's minerals in there and you're going to build.
And then how to
build
process
things.
it to make
Yeah.
it was blowing our minds.
Exactly.
And how would you even
This
have
is
the
why I'm
time?
torn.
How would you
Because
even have the
I
time
want
or
to
energy to do
believe
that
that.
when you've got to
the
get
time.
food?
They'd have the time.
No,
see,
but your
the
time
whole-
is just getting food.
Yeah.
All your time's spent doing
Yeah,
that.
just
The
surviving.
whole
Yeah.
basis of faith is just that. Like, you just got to have faith.
Yeah.
Whether
Not blind faith. You need evidence,
Well-
some sort of evidence.
Well, blind faith is the essence of the Bible.
No, it's not. There's evidence. There's huge amount of archaeological.
but blind faith.
Blind
in
faith makes you
Jesus
believe
and
the
God.
evidence.
Not blind, because what's the result? Is there's a tangible result that you can see from faith?
Well, I get that, but what I'm saying is there are so many people in this world that have these horrible things happen to them, and that
Horrible.
leads them down these pathways to think about
You're
faith
horrible,
and
Darren.
doubt their faith, and and then you see these other people. Erica Kirk. Some people don't like the way she's displayed her faith. Some people think that she's complicit because she shows no emotion. Or I've seen her show plenty of emotion. I don't know where that comes from, but like, she just blindly had faith that her husband, in the most horrific way, was taken from her, went from her arms to God's. That's the sort of faith that some people have.
But it's not blind. I'm sure she's done huge amounts of research and studying and
Who you talking about?
all sorts
But
of
it's
stuff.
still-
Like you just blindly.
Okay, but Stephen, unless you were one of the apostles, it's still kind of blind faith
I agree.
to,
if you
like,
see no results, then maybe.
a lot of
but
people see no results,
because
but they
they're not
still believe.
following the formula.
A lot of people see
I know.
no results
I
and
know.
still believe.
A lot of people in false religions see no results and they still believe.
That's right.
Like they believe Allah will protect them when their country's being bombed. So people.
Well, that's right. So this
people-
is what I'm saying. When I'm not saying blind faith as in don't try and find out if it's real or not, but the whole idea, in my humble opinion, is faith is
Whether
You've
there's
got
evidence
to-
or no evidence,
but
you
if-
still believe.
you want to like people say their prayers at night because just in case I die in my sleep. You know what I mean?
But if you say blind, it means you're not really rationalising through the process. If you're rationalising through the process,
I don't
It's not
think.
blind.
I don't
It's
think
not
God's.
really
I don't
blind.
think God's intention was for us to rationalise through the process of Him impregnating a woman.
Exactly.
From
God
space.
would have wanted His
no,
followers
but we
to
can
have blind
rationalise
faith
his
in Him.
existence just,
Just
by looking
believe
at
in
nature
Him,
or the stars.
whether there's evidence or no
Well,
evidence.
there is evidence there.
But I'm
What's
just
the
saying,
alternative?
I'm
Of what?
not saying that there's no evidence.
We're not
I'm
saying that
saying
there's no. We're not saying that there's
God-
an alternative.
God-
Well, there is, because we're living.
just wants you to
We're
believe in
communicating
Him.
with each other. We're all here.
I know, but we're
How
not.
did that happen?
Well,
what
that
we're
is the
saying.
question.
But that is that
Yeah.
like there's two schools of thought on that too. You know that.
Yeah, that everything just formed magically out of nothing.
Well, started with a big bang.
And where that's the most. You compare that against the concept of God. It's insane.
You know, I heard something the other day.
Sense.
I heard something the
It's
other
chalk and
day.
cheese, isn't it?
Yeah.
Stephen, that God actually created the universe with a big bang. That's how
Again, it's a theory. Why would you'd never put
that
faith in
crosses
theory?
my mind too. It's like I kind of feel like there must be something. There must be a God, a creator, but he created the universe.
No, there's
possibly
no Big
with
Bang.
the Big Bang. I don't know.
It's all this globe rubbish that came out of the Big Bang.
Whatever.
There's no globe with no Big Bang.
Let's just say my not theory, but I guess thoughts that go through my head, because I don't really know. Who knows? You know, it's this blind faith again. But let's just say I kind of feel like, yes, maybe there is a God and he did create the universe. I don't know how he created the universe.
Because he's omnipotent. He can do whatever he
But
wants.
I believe he also... I don't know whether... I don't believe in Adam and Eve. That's the bit that gets me. I cannot work out how we are all descended from Adam and Eve. We have indigenous, Aboriginal people. We have people of different skin colours.
It's a very logical.
You know what I mean?
If you
statement
believe,
you're right.
if you believe in the Big Bang, you
Get
have
two
blind
whiteys. How do
faith.
you get Aboriginals? How do you get Africans? How do you get China? Yeah, God, it's sort of
And the
Yeah, 'cause all
universe
the
may have been
genetics were
created
inside of them.
60,000
muddies
years
the
ago.
No,
water.
but we're not saying we have blind faith that it was created in a big bang.
We don't
We're
know.
just saying we don't know.
And that's why I'm
we
torn
want,
between
and
Bible
keeping your
and...
faith when you're unsure is the hardest thing to do.
Yeah.
So hoping in something that you think that might not be real. That's what blind faith is.
Yeah.
It's putting your faith. It's
Well, that's
putting
what-
your
yeah.
faith
Well, I
in
think we all
something
agree
that
on
not,
that. Yeah.
which is insane.
Mm-hmm.
That's madness.
Well,
Because you can't explain it any other way. You've got to have
Well,
something make you feel
I
good.
don't have any blind faith in anything. That's the thing. I've got no idea.
what research that we can prove did God do to know that Mary was going to be the perfect woman to birth his child?
Well, there's a lot of
like-
historical research. You can compare that to any other historical research against any other historical event.
Is there any historical research that Adam and Eve existed, that the Garden of Eden existed, that maybe Noah's Ark, I've heard that maybe there was some truth to that, I don't know, but, you know, we're all born from, there was this flood, like,
But what would that change
Noah
for you?
brought two animals of
Yeah,
every...
yeah.
So all that stuff is just so...
I know. It's the oldest
so
fairy
hard
tale
to-
in the world.
But
isn't
what
it?
makes more sense than that? And even if you did know that was true,
Doesn't
what would
make
that...
sense.
Well,
That's
then
the
even if
thing.
you did believe it, what would that change for you?
If I did believe it,
Yeah,
well,
what
I'd
would that-
believe
Or
it.
if you knew it was
and
true.
But what would it change?
I'd be following the Bible to the letter of the law, like, you know. But I don't follow the Bible
you
to the letter of
wouldn't.
the
See,
law.
that's the thing.
I know, because then you'd have different ideas for what happened
Even
after that.
priests
Like
don't
Muslims
follow
believe
the Bible
that,
to
but
the
then they
letter
have a
of the
completely
law.
different
You
idea.
know what I
of
mean?
things.
I'm not being pedantic about it, but
No,
you want to live by
can't- you
those
can't,
guidelines, don't you?
because we are imperfect. There is only one perfect person, and that is God, right? So we are
I
already
thought that was my
imperfect.
moment to shine.
That's
Go.
because of Adam and Eve, according to the Bible.
He said there's only one perfect person. Oh, wow, yeah.
We're
Oh, God.
imperfect
Oh,
because
I thought it
Adam
was-
and Eve sinned, and
Oh, Adam's a
But
sinner.
even
that
if they
stuffed
didn't,
it up for all of us.
Yeah.
not really, because we still
Apparently.
make choices every day of what we're going to do.
Yeah.
You know, we make
But
choices.
it's true, we're not perfect, and we might think we're making the right choices. They're not necessarily an evil choice. It just might be a choice that's not really,
Wholesome.
the best way to go for yourself or
Yeah.
for your whatever.
Yeah.
But it does. We're imperfect. We're
Who
all
knows-
imperfect.
Well, it's a
knows-
real battle for
Who
a
knows
lot of people.
Aidan Butcher? There's a Aidan
That's my
Butcher.
friend.
Oh, hello,
Yeah.
Aidan Butcher. I answered your question. I sort of answered your question, and I totally agree. He says, Aidan says, depends on the culture of the kids. The folks and their race determine this. This is in regards to like the kids not knowing anything.
Yeah.
This old, the race determined this. Old TV was okay, but ABC, SBS, Alternative Adelaide TV life is shit. And I agree with that last bit, because it's all fake.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of creative license and
ABC was
Yeah,
awesome back
television,
in our
it
day.
is
Back in
meant
the
to
day,
be.
that's what he's saying.
Well, the idea of
old
television
TV was
in
good.
the 80s.
Well, my belief is the idea of television. Well, my idea used to be of television was it was strictly for entertainment.
Yeah.
Keep the masses entertained.
Oh, you'd have your 6 o'clock news.
Yeah.
but-
Now,
But
this makes me
I
laugh.
like the
This makes me
documentaries
laugh.
as well.
Yeah.
In
Documentaries are
Perth,
good.
I was born in 1970 something. In Perth, when I was able to understand television, which was by 3 or 4 you can understand who's on TV. Well, there's a bloke by the name of Rick Arden and a woman by the name of Susanna Carr. They reading
they're
the
still
news
going.
when I was a boy, right? My mother, God bless her, still watches Rick Arden and Susanna Carr still reading the 7 News at 6 o'clock every night. They are not human. They're like robots. They look exactly the same.
I know.
It's unbelievable. But anyway, TV was meant to be entertainment, but I honestly think TV, and it was about control. Like, entertain is the first bit. Get you sucked in, get you watching it. And then they're telling you what they want. And it's like, when you go to school and they tell you that's the letter A, and they tell you that every day for the next 12 years of school, well, that's the letter A. Like, the world is round, they tell you that, the world is round. The television's doing the same thing. You only get 12 years of school, let's say at best, right? Then they've got no more influence over you.
Oh, they've got
School's
university and Netflix
Well,
and all that
they've
kind
got
of
television.
stuff.
Television's the one
Sort of
thing
brainwashing.
that
Yeah.
people still watch. And it's just pumping your brain with information they want you to know.
Well, obviously, you know, there's that you've got the heavy indoctrination in the university,
Oh, yeah.
but they've just started doing it earlier and earlier now, like even childcare.
Oh, yeah.
Why do you think they're building the childcare centres
Well, they're
everywhere?
Everywhere. They're
Every
just
suburb.
everywhere.
They'll knock down 2 houses and
Yeah.
build one indoctrination centre
Yeah.
so they can start programming your children.
Yeah, man. And this is why Jono,
When they're little.
with the homeschool, this was a big reason why he did what he did, and him and his wife did the homeschooling thing, because they could give them the curriculum criteria, tick the boxes as the kids were getting the education, the basic stuff, which now they're struggling to get done. But it's all the extra information, indoctrination that the kids get.
Like
that
climate
forms
theory,
their mind.
Aboriginal theory, all that kind of stuff, gender
the
theory.
genderism, all this
all
stuff.
this
So,
rubbish.
And the television's a programmable thing. And I'll say, wind the conversation back a bit. Growing up, I had 3 channels, maybe 4. Now there'd be 400 television opportunities to watch.
I mean, even when we moved to Kalgoorlie, there was only like 3 channels. There was GWN, ABC, and SBS.
Yeah.
That was
When
it.
I was a kid,
And
it was
that back in
ABC and Channel
95,
7, I think.
97.
Yeah. And so the evolution of how, and again, pre-air, when we were talking about the advancements we've made in the last 20 years with technology, and that encompasses television, everything, cars, you name it, household appliances, everything. We have just ramped so quickly up with what the tech is doing for us. What was so wrong with what we had prior to that? You know, it's getting lost.
Nothing.
And the
We
next gen
survived
won't
through it.
know any of it. They won't know any of it. Yeah, and when we
It's a
die...
way of getting information out quicker as well.
Yeah, yeah. Look,
But
it's
most
certainly
of
got
that
its uses.
information is rubbish.
Well, a lot of it's crap.
I'm
Look
not
at the stuff
saying
that's coming
whether
through
it's
the
rubbish
TV.
or not, but it's just a way of getting it out.
Getting it out there. Yeah, there's lots of platforms, and we're
There's
now
a lot
involved
more
in it.
people
Look at us.
in
It just comes through here that we
the world than there
carry
were,
everywhere.
you know,
Of
20
course.
to 40 years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah, no, that's
when I
right.
was
No. And again, I sort of prescribe more and more to the idea of the control of the population. Like, if you can knock out the back end or the top end of the age bracket, then you got more chance of controlling the next ones, because everything that you're doing for them is normalised. There's no rebuttal, there's no resistance from, let's say, this group or others like us to go, no, you don't need this. No, kids, you don't need to listen to that crap.
Yep.
This is how you fucking do it.
And then the
You know.
remaining people have recently gone through school, so they're all recently and freshly programmed.
Well, that's right. They're even probably 3 years ago, or the latest lot of university grads, 2025.
Yeah. Half of them wouldn't even know if they're male or female
Well, this
once
is
they
the
get
problem.
out of university.
No.
Not
Well,
even
yeah.
basic common sense. It's just all gone.
Once we're gone, no one can say no.
I think if I had to homeschool my kids, I'd be in prison.
But the thing is, but maybe. But you want them to do well, so there's
Yeah, I
there's
know,
guidelines.
and I agree. But you know what I do like the idea of. I've heard they're doing it in the States. a lot of communities are getting together and doing like group homeschooling. So all the parents are there to help each other as well as all the kids are there to help each other, which I could probably handle that more than like just me on my own at home all day and all night.
Well, they have meetups. They do have meetups like once a month or they'll meet up.
Like these kids go to like a specific house and it's set up for them and it's set up for the parents and they go and they take it's only like 5 or 6 kids or maybe 10 kids tops and all the parents are there and everybody's helping, so each parent each child's got its
well, what I hear from those that have done it, and it's not many, I don't know many, but from the ones, so there's a lot of people in this country that travel, young people that travel with the F truck and the big caravan, and they're doing it with their primary age school kids, right? And they're homeschooling them on the road. 4 hours max. Day's work's done. The kids are fishing and riding bikes and catching snakes and climbing trees. So that's an education.
Yeah, because they just waste time rest of the time.
They fuck around. Yeah, because the teachers trying to get 20, 30 kids. They're trying to get 30 kids done.
Yeah, they get the one-on-one attention.
Mate, I really prescribe to the idea. We didn't think to do it and our time's now finished.
It's not that we didn't think to do it. That's what you were saying earlier, how things have ramped up. So our
we have
kids
to
were
keep
getting
up with the technology and
our kids
teach them
in
the
primary
technology.
school, like your kids, my older kid.
Well, we were indoctrinated to work and pay mortgages and have both parents had 2 jobs and tried to smash them.
Our
that was what we
didn't
did.
have 2 jobs.
No, our parents didn't have 2 jobs.
No, what I mean is you worked, I worked.
Oh yeah, when we were married,
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was just going to say, because I really didn't work. I worked 2 days a week when after my maternity leave, and I pretty much had 3 years straight maternity leave.
Yeah.
But it's not so much that I couldn't do it, but I probably was. Not just like I would be in jail, but I was probably less confident that I could do it. But even saying that, our kids were getting, and we were on top of their schoolwork. I'm not to say that we didn't know what was going on in their life.
They had a pretty good going.
It's changed since then, because by the time she started at Ranella East here, it all seemed pretty normal. By the time Mackenzie was in high school, 40% of her friend group had changed gender.
So now when your kids get through school, they want to cut their dick off, they want to cut their breasts off.
That's what school does to
and that goes back to what I was saying before, that Mackenzie,
that's what school does to your kids.
Crazy.
Mackenzie,
you're not even allowed to talk against
out of the 100%, Mackenzie's in the 60% of kids that have been taught by her parents. No, don't fall for that shit.
Now, hang on, just pause for a second. This links to last week, because that same school, and I'm gonna tell it, Ranella East. That same school, Ranella East College, been all over the news
last month.
About exactly that.
The Transgender Awareness Day.
Yeah, for kids in kindergarten and year 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and
want them sterilised.
Well, they're not saying that, but
that is what they want, though.
They disguise it as, if you want to be sterilised, we support you.
But they don't. Yeah, they make it sound wonderful, though.
Oh yeah, that's right.
There's a local guy, and I forget his name.
They love bomb them.
I should have a quick look at what his name is. A local guy from down south here, this suburb. He lives here.
Well, speaking of transgenders, Stephen and I were chatting about the new contender in the US in the state of Maine, a candidate named Plattner was booted from the race, or resigned from the race, because he had pending rape accusations levied against him. So the Democrats, as they usually do, eat their own, and now they're in the race to find somebody else. And the choices are amazing, aren't they, Stephen? Like
wonderful.
Wonderful.
Ashley would Well, we would all vote for Ashley, wouldn't we?
So we've sort of watched 5 minutes of this clip.
I doubt it.
We've already watched the first 5 minutes of this clip. So I'll let Stephen just explain the premise of the clip to everybody that's watching, and then we'll pick it up at the last 5 minutes. So we don't have to put you all through the whole 10 minutes of the clip.
Well, Ashley gives us the reason why we should all vote for him. He's basically just a fat guy in a dress. But he's asked about his qualifications, which is he's tried several times before. He writes music and books, which should get him in.
As a senator. As a senator for Maine.
Yeah.
And there's a few other candidates there too, I think they talked to, don't
they? Yeah. But he's even willing to use the men's bathroom just to avoid violence. Yeah. So, which I thought was very brave of Ashley. So,
well done, Ash.
Yes, and now we're going to introduce you all to this primary candidate, Ashley. Or hopefully we will. This is Graham Plattner, is who you see in the corner there. He's the ejected candidate.
I'm not feeling the same sizzle as Nipple. Even the debate moderator said he was bored.
When it comes to charisma, Plattner had a lot of advantages. And I don't think any of those people that we saw just now have that card to play.
Good thing there are still more candidates to go around. Not everybody was on stage. Christina, also running. She's an artist, storyteller, and poet.
Oh, she's the poet.
She's been living in New York City for 20 years. But she says she's moving back to Maine. What prepared her for the job of senator? The theater.
Last year I went alone, and I watched 37 shows in 5 days. And I, just felt like I had been given all of this knowledge about, life and, relationships and creativity. And I, you can't get that experience anywhere else, or you certainly can't, get that experience for that price, right? It's just awesome. It's magic.
Don't mention how fast.
Oh, bloody commercials on YouTube.
Where's Ashley, though? We want to see Ashley.
What can I mention?
The weather. My mom's cooking.
Ashley's the one we're voting for.
Namaste, uncle. Thank you for having me.
She seems sweet, but
I think I've got to go back to the beginning.
Come back on? I need these.
Yeah, I think you need to go back to the beginning.
All right, we'll go back to the beginning.
Beginning is with Ashley. Yeah, you played it from the end.
So as you can see, there's an array.
Yeah, they're all nuts, but Ashley's our favourite.
Ashley. Here we go.
Let's check in on the Democrat Party.
I don't want to hurt anybody. I just want to use the bathroom. And if they want me to use the men's room, I will, but I don't want to be assaulted.
That's Ashley. Ashley is running to replace Nipple Nazi in Maine. Plattner got Me Too'd and cooed, so the Democrats scrambled together a little primary. And now we've been blessed by an angel.
What qualifications do you have to serve in the U.S. Senate?
Oh, I ran for office several times. Didn't win, but I did run. And then I'm a songwriter, and then I write my own books. And then I suppose my transparency, I wouldn't lie to the people, and I wouldn't deceive the people like we're being deceived right now.
When Primetime saw Ashley, we fell in love, and we had to know more. Her Reddit page says she ovulates and menstruates. You go, girl. Her book, it's a memoir. It's called I Am Ashley. There's not a book. I want to read more. We can't wait to get our hands on a copy. So if anyone's watching and has an old edition, please, please send to Fox News headquarters in New York. Attention, Johnny. Ashley's a self-proclaimed songwriter, and we'll have you know
bet you Ashley sends him a copy.
Produced 4 albums. They haven't gone platinum yet, but maybe they will now.
Diet MAGA, Chuck Schumer. He's a real ass clown.
It doesn't sound much like a Democrat.
Open your heart to Ashley.
Oh, my Lord.
But whatever you do, don't get on her bad side.
I suppose the biggest thing is, I'm just an angry citizen now. And if I got elected, I'd be an angry senator. And I think that would probably be their worst nightmare.
Not our worst nightmare. Ashley's a dream. She's what we want, what we need. The Democrats need her. Maine needs her. Graham Plattner, wherever he is, would definitely shuck Ashley's oysters.
believe they called it pork bellying. By cutting out the pork bellying from all the bills, I'm sure that would save a lot of money as well.
If you want your bills pork bellied, Ashley's your girl. But if you don't, the Maine primary is stacked. There are over a dozen candidates running, but none of them are bringing Ashley's creative energy.
So I have many ideas on this one. And if you'd like to go
Give
get
me
a
one.
mocktail.
Give me an example of
You'd like to go get a
specific area of
mocktail?
oversight that you'd like to have a hearing on.
Well, I'd like to have a lot of hearings.
That's Sheena. She says she didn't have time to do her homework for the debate because she was on vacation, relaxing on the Kennebec River.
Okay.
Sheena's secretary.
So, right. But
Well, so-
that's the caliber.
All right, so hang on. So for those that I'm not sure, because I might not be either, those 4 on those podiums there, not the 2 asking the question, but the 4 on the podiums, are they potential Democratic Senate runners?
Take the place
for Maine?
of the Democratic candidate that won the previous runoff a couple of months ago.
Right.
Who's now pulled out of the race
Okay.
because of these accusations. So the
Right.
actual election.
Did you say rape accusations to me before?
Right.
Okay, so hang on.
He'd do better than any of them.
So
even with the
okay,
accusations.
So the current Dem runner for Maine is on existing rape allegations.
And he is now because somebody came out. So previously to this woman coming out, other people came out and made accusations against Graham Plattner.
Graham Platt.
This is aside from the Nazi tattoo that he had on his chest. That wasn't like the Democrats didn't even blink at that. Then they found that there was women coming out making accusations, but they all happened to be conservative women, right? So this last woman that just came out, she's actually a Democrat, and she has voted for the Democrats before, and she has this record with them. And now all of a sudden, the Democrats believed her,
Right.
and they all got on television and said, no, we can't endorse him anymore. They all took back their endorsement of Graham Plattner. Like 24 hours prior to that, they were doing a tour with him, raising money for him, right?
Yeah.
Now
They
they
got-
have to have
Well-
another mini primary to select a candidate to run against Susan Collins, who is the current senator in Maine. So, and that election happens in November, like with the midterms.
Yeah. So right. Yeah. Wow.
And those that like.
Well, he did say there's dozens
Ashley,
of them.
This woman, there's a whole.
There's a whole raft of more. But
they're. Well, you saw them. One of them's still fucking wearing a mask.
Yeah.
In 2026.
Yeah. Wow.
So-
I don't know how Ashley's going to go, Steve.
I think Ashley would win. Ashley's probably better than any of the other ones that were standing there.
Well, there's going to be a token one somewhere.
Yeah, but like who?
Ash.
I mean, look, in the scheme of things, really, Bernie Sanders has not done well for himself in Maine. He's been a senator there since whenever, like the dawn of time. So Maine has really always been a pretty solid Republican. Susan Collins has been there for years. So she's the incumbent that whoever they put up has to beat her.
Yeah.
The only thing she has against her is her age. I mean, look, she could drop dead tomorrow.
Yeah.
Look at Lindsey Graham.
Yeah. This week.
This week.
Or last week. Well, we'll call it this week.
Technically, it's last week. Today's Sunday.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Well, that's yeah. Well, look, it's infiltrated everywhere. Look, we can't rewind.
But this is what Stephen's saying. This goes to show to the caliber of people that they think that we are accepting to put like in front of us. Even
Exactly.
here, you take that same attitude here with our politicians.
Well,
Who are they putting up?
Well, it's
Besides the obvious ones
well,
that
it's
we
starting
know.
at the lowest levels is where it'll start, and I precursor towards this Ranella East College stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it doesn't get any closer to home than that. Our kids went to school there. When when our daughter was in high school year 9, 10, those sort of era, all these people, this blonde kid, I remember, one day it was a boy, the next day it was a girl.
I think it was actually a girl.
Well, it didn't matter because Thursday it was this and Monday it was not. Right? And I'm going, the fuck? Like, are you for real? Anyway, so most recently, what had happened was that the school said that it would support, it's an international day, Ida Hobbit. International Day Against Homophobia, Biphobia, Intersexism and Transphobia. Police were called. Tension flared, counter-protesters showed up. This is a local high school, just round from Dorry's place.
My grandkids went there.
Yeah.
Until very recently.
Yeah. And in the middle of it all, kids were simply trying to get to school. So the story says this is how it all started. On May the 6th, a letter from Ranella East College landed in parents' inboxes. It announced the school would be recognising and celebrating the Ida Hobbit, that's the acronym, on Wednesday the 13th. Inviting students to wear rainbow accessories, scrunchies, socks, wristbands, ribbon pins over their school uniforms as a show of support and inclusion for the day that had a raft of activities planned. The letter said the school was proud of its diversity and that the aim was to foster a school environment where every student feels safe, supported and valued. That sounds lovely, and honesty in isolation it is. But here's what the letter didn't address. Ranella East College runs from kindy to year 12 and has nearly 1,900 students. That's 3-year-olds and 17-year-olds under the same roof. Now, that's a broad statement because we know how the school's set up, and it is sort of separated. It's on a big campus. However, participating in the same whole school initiative. So it wasn't like this Ida Hobbit was from kindy to year 12. It was for 3-year-olds to 17-year-olds. That's where Luke Polton drew the line. Luke Polton is the local guy from down south here who said, no, I don't agree. He's 33, local guy from down south here. Father of 2, shared the school's newsletter on Facebook, and the response was immediate with over 500 comments and counting. The community groundswell was enormous. For so many parents, it wasn't just him. Students even began separately contacting him, reinforcing the sentiment within the students at the school and reporting that teachers appeared to have little choice but to get behind the initiative.
Yeah.
Mr. Polton wrote to the Education Department and contacted SA Police. He was completely transparent about what was going to happen on the day. Quote, this is Mr. Polton. My problem is that kindy and junior primary kids are subject to stuff that, until a later age, you shouldn't even be thinking about. I 100% agree.
Yeah.
His 4-year-old daughter attends preschool at the college. Some parents went further, refusing to send their kids to school at all that day, saying they wouldn't endorse or participate in the event. Now, it goes on a bit more. But he wasn't just a flat-out, no, this is bullshit, you can go get fucked. Stick your transgenderism up your ass. What he said was, if you watched him on the news, he said, look, that's fine. But 3-year-olds to like the high school kids don't need to have this at all included in their shit. And I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I agree. I don't think that I would go as far as, like up to year 9. They don't need to.
And I think that's what the general consensus was for
on
that
the
group.
day, what are they doing? Are they teaching about transgender and all this other...
They'll be promoting that.
Here's the idea. The idea is everybody's wearing rainbow colours. What do kids do? They ask questions. Why is everybody wearing rainbow colours, teacher? Well, Billy, the rainbow colours represent the LGBTQ plus.
For 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds.
Have you seen any stories that talk about
The only thing that I want to say about it, and you're all going to jump down my throat.
But we never did sex ed in school until probably year 7 or 8.
They don't need sex ed, but why can't kids, they're going to grow up with this. It's not going away, right? It's not going away. is transgender and whatever.
No, well, it's getting,
Well,
it's
why-
getting introduced
why
earlier and earlier
can't
and
they
earlier.
We've
just
got detransition
know that
speaking out.
it's out there and just be accepted? They're trying to teach them not to become prejudiced towards these kids, basically.
Well, that was what
why
the
can't you
intent of
learn
the
that
day
from a
was,
young
Yeah,
age?
but why can't parents teach that
Well,
to
they're
their kids?
they're
Why do the
encouraging
schools
children
need
to
I don't
castrate
think-
Because
themselves.
parents
Yeah.
don't teach
I
that
don't,
to
I
their
don't think
kids.
3, 4,
Bullshit.
5, 6, 7,
Nobody
8,
does.
9,
Who te-
10-year-olds
hang
need
on.
to
No,
know
but we
that
didn't have to
boys can
deal
be
with
girls.
that sort of thing
But
back
did
then.
you teach your children empathy and understanding, and did you teach your
Yes,
kids to
but-
get along?
But
and-
your opinions on transgender, do you
Let's-
pass them on to
let's
your
stick
kids?
to fact. The
Yes.
fact, not opinions,
Yes.
Yes,
fact.
it's only-
You cannot change your gender. Forget anyone's
No, I'm not
opinions.
talking about that.
No,
No,
I'm
but
talking
we're talking
about
imaginary stuff,
regardless of
stuff
what
that's not
you
real.
think.
So the word
No,
fact
this is a
or
fact.
opinion.
It's a fact.
Regardless of
It's
that,
not an opinion. It is a
regardless
fact.
of that,
It's a fact.
it's not
The fact
going
is,
away,
it's
Stephen.
a fact.
It's not going away.
And it will never be real.
So why?
It'll never be real.
Why do you not want
Well, when we're all
children
dead,
to
it
grow
will
up
be real.
being
That's what Adam's
tolerant
saying.
of
When
other
we're all dead, when we're all
different
gone,
people?
when we're all gone, and 5 out of 6 people are transgender, it will be real.
Well, the skeletons will be the same. They'll be able to tell from
It
your
doesn't
skeleton
matter.
if you're
It
a male or a
doesn't- it
female.
doesn't matter because
If the whole
Stephen,
thing is a
they're
lie.
like-
If you cannot
I know,
trust the
Stephen,
school,
I know,
honestly,
I
if
know,
you
I
cannot
agree.
trust them on that one thing, you cannot trust them
You're-
on anything.
you're being-
And
you're
if they're
going
going to
down-
lie to you about
bringing
that,
that
they're going to
guy
lie about
story.
everything.
But this is
You
why.
can
Yeah.
say that as
Why
much
does
as you like, but it's
everything-
not going away. Is it?
Okay, if we have a
That's
look
a
at
fact.
if we have a look at
There will
child-
always be perverted, deranged, sick people. Always.
Here's
So you're
what
right. It's not going
Transgender
away.
is not a sickness.
Okay,
It is.
but
It's
more.
sickness. Castrating
Right,
children.
It's always going.
Castrating children.
I'm not talking
How is-
about children.
it is- no,
I'm
we
talking
are
about
talking about
adults.
Yeah, well, that's the,
I'm
that was
talking
the thing with the
about-
school.
No, we're talking about a school. We don't have adults at the
Transgender-
school. We're talking about the school.
I don't agree with children becoming transgender, even
But
if that's
he's
how they
talking
feel
about children.
inside, until they're old enough. An adult,
They shouldn't
16,
even know about it.
18, whatever.
No.
They shouldn't even know about
But
it.
they have to know about it.
No, they don't have to know
they
about it in
have to.
kindergarten.
Maureen,
They
not
have
at
Fucking
3.
kindergarten.
And they're
they
told it's
don't.
wonderful.
So
They're
prevalent.
told it's great.
They
Not in
don't
kindergarten.
have to know about it at 3. I don't
Castration
care.
is not
They have
great.
one
They
it
don't have
is.
to know the ins and outs. They
Yeah,
just have
that's
to
what they're
know
promoting,
that
though.
not everybody is the same. Be tolerant. Don't
Tolerance, that's
be
exactly
prejudiced
the word.
against someone
No,
because
hang
they
on.
look different to you.
No, no, no.
Let's
That's all they want.
protect their breasts and their
That's
penises
what they
and
need
not cut
to
them
know.
off.
And
Why not just do that?
this is why our society is so bigoted.
Yeah, but the thing
Because
is,
we
no,
weren't
no, no.
taught
All right, well,
to
here's the
be
thing.
tolerant
Here's
of
the-
other
to
people.
talk about
Alright,
reality
alright,
and
so
fact.
hang on,
The
hang
reality
on.
and fact was, like 90% of the parents of that school said, "Fuck off. We
Yeah.
don't want it."
I get
But
that.
So that's
but
the reality.
this is my opinion, and
Maureen.
my opinion is teach your child to be tolerant, and that's it.
But,
Yeah,
but,
and we do that.
but
Tolerant of
that's-
castration?
Obviously not.
But
You
hang
just
on.
said you don't want your
Tolerant
kids
of
to know about
I
castration?
it.
don't like the word tolerant. I don't like the word. Why tolerance? Why can't we teach them another word? Why do we have to be tolerant of something that we don't agree with?
So you don't
Why
agree with
can't we-
transgender?
We don't. It doesn't
No,
exist.
I don't agree with transgender. I do agree with having compassion for someone
Right.
Who's mentally ill.
Choose to
about
have
their
compassion
gender.
about others,
Yeah, but not 3,
about
4,
being a
5
different
years
skin
old.
colour, being a bit different religion, being a different
Compassion, Maureen.
nationality,
It's-
being
That's
a
a
different
separate subject.
It's
sex,
not about
being a different,
tolerance.
you know,
That's some-
it's
they're
not
all
about
real
transgender.
things.
You relate
They're
with,
real
whatever.
things.
You shouldn't
Race
be
and religion
forced.
exist. Transgenderism does not exist. It's imaginary.
Honey,
it's not real.
it exists.
It's a mental
Okay.
illness. There's a mental illness.
It exists.
But
There's
you
many
cannot
mental
change.
ill-
You can't
illnesses,
change it.
but
You
it
can't
still
change your
exists.
gender.
I think
You
Stephen,
can't change your gender.
I think Stephen, what she's trying to say is the idealism of transgenderism is a thing. The fact that
And
biologically
it's not going anywhere, mate.
it's not is to them is two different issues, right? Because you try and tell a transgender that you biologically can be only a male or a female, they just out blank you.
Because
right?
they've been completely brainwashed.
But that's besides the point of the fact whether it is existing or not, and we are living with it every day in our daily lives. We are living with transgenderism. It is a thing. That's like saying, the world might be flat. I've got this globe here, but it doesn't really exist because it's round and the world is flat, right? So this doesn't really exist. But it's here. I can see it and
The
touch
lie
it.
is here.
The lie is here,
Yeah.
and that's what she's saying.
Yeah.
We have to, but I don't agree with having to tolerate it. I agree with being compassionate. If I see, no, hang on,
Yeah,
let me
well,
finish. Let me finish.
Tolerate
Let
and
me-
compassion goes hand in hand.
No, not
Tolerance and
necessarily.
compassion.
Well, it's no good
Not
picking on
No,
over
it
words.
doesn't.
Tolerance
Well,
is
well,
something
can't
that you
agree
have
on
to be.
dicks and pussy.
If someone was a
tolerant,
drug addict,
compassion, call it whatever you want.
you
What
can
the-
show compassion, but you
the
don't
thing
have to
here
tolerate
was,
the
Yeah,
drugs.
Is
right.
the school
I can
wanted
be
to have
compassionate to a drug, to
kindergarten.
someone who's addicted to drugs, but I don't have to tolerate
All
them
right,
doing it in
fair
front
enough.
of me.
Let's change the word tolerance to compassion.
Yeah.
Let's say
Different things.
3-year-olds can learn to be compassionate towards people that are not the same as them. How about that?
Yes.
That is what I'm trying to
is-
convey.
that's fine.
That's
and
fine.
and
That's-
wearing
that's a
rainbow
separate
colours
subject.
is showing that they have
No, it's
compassion
not. No, no, no,
towards someone that is not
No,
the
that's
same
the
as them.
lie. They're
No, that's
using
what
the
he's
lie
saying.
of compassion
He's
to
saying
brainwash
showing
them.
rainbow colours is actually showing your acceptance of
Yeah.
that.
The lie.
Right? Yeah. So having compassion is one thing. If you send your children
No.
to school that day and they're wearing
No.
no rainbow colours, that doesn't mean that they're not compassionate for the people that are confused. Because that's what they are. And I go again back to, I don't believe that it's up to the school to teach them these things. I don't believe that the school should have to teach your child to be compassionate. If you are a compassionate person, you will
Well, you know what's gonna
automatically
happen?
teach your children
you can
compassion.
Parents aren't going to teach
No,
them
but
because
you-
parents are not compassionate.
learned-
So if the parent isn't compassionate,
You're saying
the
get
child will
the
not be
school has to
compassionate.
teach them now.
How
She
can-
wants the school to
so-
teach them.
So, but hang on.
Unless
The lies.
it's an
But isn't-
anomaly,
And it's
because out of our family, I'm probably the only, maybe Dory, I don't know, I'm probably the only one from my family who's compassionate and tolerant and accepting of
Castration.
people's
All that shit.
way of life,
Yeah.
right?
No, we all are.
Of the
but
way
thing
of
is,
life that they
as-
choose.
When you're an adult, you
Whereas my parents wouldn't have been, and they wouldn't
That's
have.
it.
They didn't teach me tolerance. They didn't teach me compassion. They didn't teach me anything.
Yes, they did.
I learned
without
this
you
not
even
about-
realising.
probably through,
But Laura,
You
through
can
my school
disagree with
teachers.
something and be compassionate.
No, without you even realising your parents teach you. You must know that. Your children live with you
Our
all
dad,
day,
our
every day.
dad
You
was
learn
not
from them.
tolerant of anything that was
Okay,
different.
well, so then, if my parents didn't teach me anything, how do you compare me to dad? You compare me to dad all the time. You're as stubborn as dad. So
Yeah,
how
but
do
you
you
pick
compare
up on
me?
their habits.
That is
Your product-
learning.
your product
That's
of your
not-
But that's not
environment.
your parents teaching you. That's just your parents
Okay.
being your parents, and
Okay.
you're
Okay, I'm going to just call for a little bit of order here.
That's an argument that we're never going to
Because
get. Because
the idea, the issue that it was about was not whether you're tolerant of homosexuals, what did it say?
LGBTQ.
Well, basically, as adults, you can have whatever opinion you like because you've lived a bit of a life and you know what you are by the time you know what you are. But 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11-year-olds, and maybe more, do not even need to be exposed to it. That's the issue that people had, and the majority of parents would still agree
I understand
that
that.
they shouldn't even come into primary school and kindergarten.
And there are even gender
Shouldn't even
confused
be
adults that agree with what he's
Shouldn't
saying.
even be there. 100%.
I just have that view that this way they know that this is.
They don't need to know.
They know that someone might be different to you, but you don't have to
They're
be
innocent. They're still
prejudiced towards them
innocent.
because
Okay,
of
It's
it.
not about that.
All
They're
right,
still learning to read and
what
write
about
that
this-
up. They
what
can't
about
even
this
fucking do
example?
that.
In New
Yeah,
York,
well,
in New York
That's the
know.
problem. That's the
That's
problem.
right. The education system is
And
pretty.
they're prioritising this shit over maths, numbers, words.
Yeah, that I don't know. I don't know what they prioritise
So in New York
in
City-
schools anymore because I don't
in New
really
York
have any.
Do they have a
City,
day
when
celebrating
when
maths?
When the
No.
Italians want to celebrate Columbus Day, the pride groups, the trans Tifa groups come out in force, right?
And I don't agree
So-
with that, Liz.
but-
I agree
but
with
they're
everybody
in-
just getting along
Okay,
and
but
accepting of each other the way, no matter what.
Unfortunately, with those people, and I'm going to say those people because they only want people agreeing with them. They do not want to feel put out to the point that they feel that
three on
we
the
feel
go.
they should have to
Crazy.
agree with us with a few things. They, if we don't agree
All right,
with
we'll
them,
put
I'm
that pin
saying I
back
don't
in that
agree
hand
with
grenade.
that point of view either.
no, but that's what I'm saying. That's what they're like. They
Why
don't
can't you
have
all be
any
like
tolerance.
me and just accept everybody for what they are?
Nah.
But the
We don't
problem,
accept lies.
the problem is they
The
don't.
world would be such a
No,
happy
you can
place.
love everybody, but you,
You
don't
wanna
have to
use-
agree with what they do.
You
What's
want to
really what?
use the word tolerant, but they
I
will
don't agree
never
with
be
murderers,
tolerant of
rapists,
our
and child
opinion.
But you
abusers
do
and
agree with
animal
people that want to
abusers.
castrate your children. You agree with them?
I don't agree with castrating children,
But that's what
Stephen.
they want to do. They want to castrate
Well,
them.
I don't know that. You're telling
You
me
do
that.
know
I
that.
don't know if that's true or not.
Puberty blockers is a form of
You tell me
castration.
the world is flat, but I don't believe that either. So, you know what I mean? That's just you telling
Truth
me
is
that
not
this is
based
what
on
they
what
want
you
to do in the
believe.
school.
Truth is not based on what you believe.
I'm not
It's-
in the school system. I don't really know. I should ask Donna. Maybe she'd know. Whether this is what they're teaching them in schools. I have to ask her because she actually works in a school.
Well, our niece goes to school with a furry.
What's a furry?
What do you mean?
Yeah, dress up as cats.
Oh my
There's
God!
a furry in here.
What
I just
is a
saw one
furry?
jump on your lap.
I've never
Time
heard
to
that one.
educate my
She did
sister
now.
on what furries are.
I couldn't believe it.
No, honestly,
There's
what the
people
hell
with
is it?
animal
Well,
fetishes
they-
that dress up as
Oh,
animals.
I've never heard of
Kids go to
furry.
school
I've never
with
heard the
cats
term.
and
So.
dogs.
Well,
and
surely we've
Yeah,
talked
that's
about furries
disgusting.
on here.
No.
kitty
I've never
litter in
heard
a
it
tray
before.
so they can go and piss in it and that. They're dead set.
No, well, yeah, I know. That to me, that's more of a brain imbalance or
Yes, but the
something.
I'd
parents
still
are
rather be a
encouraging
furry
it.
and get it chopped
That's
off,
what I'm
though.
saying. So
Parents
parents
are
are
encouraging
The difference between a furry and getting it
the
chopped off.
parents are
Obviously.
going to the
Just take
schools
the
and
ears off.
saying,
Take the
you
tail
must
off and I'm back
refer
to
to
normal.
my child as a cat.
Oh, really?
You know what I mean? Like this
But is this really happening?
All right, I've got another one
his
for you.
niece,
All right,
his
no,
niece
we're
goes
putting the
to
pin.
school
We're putting the
with
pin
one.
back in this hand
okay.
grenade because idealistically it's the same thing. Right? The thing that makes it difficult for people is because it's of a sexual nature and it involves young people. That is where people are getting pissed off, and rightly so. And I totally agree. And I stand by Mr. Bolton. Good on you, sunshine. And the beauty of discussing that topic is it is no closer to home. You can't get any closer to home than that because it happened to a school where our kids went, your grandkids went, and we were quite involved
I
in
know
it.
that it was in the news. I knew that it.
And
my
funny
kids
because
told me about it.
long before in May, when the school wanted to support that day, Mackenzie attended that school, and it was no secret to us as parents of her going there that this was prevalent in young adolescent boys and girls. And so it's of no surprise in 2026 that schools, oh yeah, we're all fluffy and nice, and it fucking ruffled the feathers of a lot of locals. I must say, it really did.
Look, I don't agree with teaching 3 to whatever year olds about the actual
The physics
what
and the
goes on.
mechanics of
But
it all.
I do agree.
Well, that's what's starting to happen.
The only
unfortunately.
thing I really am trying to get across is what I think. If a child of 3, which they wouldn't, but or maybe a child of 3 might say, why are we wearing rainbow clothes? The answer should be just so that it's a special day to celebrate people that are different to you.
No,
That's
because
it.
they want to brainwash you into chopping it off.
But I don't.
That's the reason they're doing
earlier
it.
and earlier, and that's how it's getting
Get them in
perceived.
early.
Well,
Start
that's how it's
pumping
getting
them with
perceived,
drugs,
yeah.
chemicals, and
Why
stuff.
would they want to do that, Stephen?
Because they're sick.
Well, they're promoting
And they're
the idea
perverted.
that you can do it if you want.
Yeah,
And,
but
and it's
that's
okay
over-
if
But
you want.
why?
Most parents go,
Stephen's
it's not
saying
okay.
they want you to do
They
it.
do. They want to
Anybody-
Why
sterilise.
do they want you to do it?
Because they're sick.
People that are
Why
watching,
do people
if
do
you want to
perverted and
throw in
sick
a
things?
question to the live chat, we're here to answer it.
So the education department is saying we want kids to be castrated
Sterilised, 'cause they
at
wanna
an
sterilise
early
the
age.
population.
This is what we want.
It's called
no, all they have to do is
sterilisation.
spread another bloody pandemic
They'll
out
do
there
that
and
too.
kill all the old
They'll
people.
do all
They'll
the
do
things
that
Well,
they
again,
need to.
again.
You know that the population of the world is approximately
Well, here
8
we go.
billion people.
It's
They reckon
sterilisation.
that there's only enough room for 1 billion.
Well, here we go. And I transgress back to what I said earlier about when we all die, having kindergarten days for anti-homophobic and all that acceptance stuff is going to be even more normalised because there's no one left to say this is not normal.
That's right.
And you can breed a population
It
out if they
is
all
going
cut
to
their
be
dicks
normal
off.
for
Yeah,
sure. It
exactly.
already is.
So
in
this
a
is
way.
where we're drawing parallels, and it's how far you want to dive into the theory or the mechanics of it as to where you sit. Moors will have trouble thinking that that's going to be the offset outcome. You see it
What do you
plain as
mean?
day. To
What
you,
will I have trouble seeing? What?
well, so Steve says they want you to cut your dicks off.
Just gonna go check on the mother.
What I say is, I don't think no one would ever come out and say that. But a result of normalising, changing your, and they call it gender. But if it is talking about actual castration, so you physically can't make a baby with
chemical
somebody,
castration
you can
as
start
well,
to
yeah.
reduce/control the population. Now, if that gets normalised from younger and younger ages, like Ranella East sort of, in a sense, you could say we're doing, then when we die, our generation of people that sort of don't really prescribe to that idea, once we all fucking are buried, it's going to be more normalised in 20 years that, oh, yeah, everyone's just everything. And an offshoot from that could be population growth will slow because more boys are now girls and more girls don't even know what they are. So, you know, you can peel the layers off this as far as you want to go. And what I meant was that you wouldn't see that as a potential outcome where you do. And I see how you don't see it, and I see how you do see it.
I see what I see as an outcome is yes. I think
That's
you're
the
right
extreme
that
end.
it is.
That's the
Going to be
extreme end of it.
normalised.
That's the extreme end
It's
of it.
normalised. It will be normalised that transgenders exist and all these other.
Yeah. Well, it's
I
normal.
don't even
yeah.
know what you call them. Like,
Yeah. Well, there's all these different everything, isn't there?
yeah.
But in the
I don't know what
future,
the global word is for it, but
you're saying it's going to be more normal
It
in the
is.
future.
It's already
But the
like-
thing is, in the future, maybe 10 years, 15, more people, more detransition is going to come out.
Well, it's going to.
And they're all going to be talking about what happened to them.
Mm.
And things will change when more detransitioners start speaking.
Well, it's a topic. It's a real thing. And the reason I brought it up is
as long
because
as
it
they have
happens
the
here.
choice.
There
to-
might be legal cases against doctors,
there
for
will be
example,
all this sort of stuff,
that did
yeah.
surgery, 10, 15 years.
Especially
Imagine
if they're young, I agree. I don't believe at all for 1 second that a child should be
No, they can't
allowed
make
to
that.
make
What
that
about
decision.
someone? What about
or
someone?
a parent on their behalf.
No,
I
I
think
agree.
they need to be an adult, and an
Yeah.
18 to
Yeah.
me would be
What if they're
probably
30
the
years
adult
old, they've
age.
got a mental illness and they're on drugs and they think that there's something else?
Well, there's
They're
gonna
an
be-
They
adult,
get
mate.
castrated.
They're an adult.
They,
They're an
yeah, but
adult.
adults
But
can be
they
vulnerable
still
too.
can
Yeah.
be
They
legal.
they can
I
be
get you.
vulnerable.
Yeah, yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you could say the same for making the decision to drink and drive. And you kill
That's right.
someone.
Adults
Yeah, you-
make
But we're
decisions,
discouraged
even
to
if-
do that. We're all discouraged to do that.
I know. We're not
Yeah.
discouraged for this other stuff. The
Yeah.
discouragement comes from the generational group that don't see it as being ethically correct. Those guidelines are getting stretched and stretched, and the problem is they're getting stretched to fucking kindergarten. And this is where the indoctrination
That's
starts.
why
in
they're
schools.
knocking down
And you know
houses
what?
in
I
every
think
suburb.
technology has played a massive
Well,
part
again,
in everything that's
look how
changed in the world.
look how much it's changed.
This is why I don't like technology.
Yeah. Well,
Because
if
it just makes some changes
Okay.
that you kind of.
Australia's only
know.
250 years old. So is the US, only 250 years old of like a Western civilized,
Yeah,
you know,
right.
like a yeah. In the last 20 years, we have progressed more than we did in the first 200 with tech. And that's exposed us to all this other conceptual stuff that we're discussing that's happening, that is getting bashed out over boardroom tables and government. And seems government's the softest link in the chain because they just tick, 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 tick every fucking box to try and keep everyone happy to buy votes. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Well-
But we're the ones left with it. But if there's a third of the population that don't like it, well, what's the solution? Get rid of that third. You know, and that's going to happen by natural attrition anyway. But is there anything else that
Are
we
we
can do to
living
speed
longer
that
these
along?
days, or are we living shorter these days?
Well, I think historically, by the book, we're living longer, and medicine's played a huge part of that. Science, medicine, technology's played a massive part in living longer. But then maybe that's now to the detriment of the big plan.
I think we're living longer,
I'm
but they probably
theorising.
we need to cut it back a bit.
Oh, I don't think we need to cut it back.
No, but they do.
But yeah, they
They think
do.
that we need to cut it back
You
a
know,
bit.
so and this is what I thought.
Very
Which is why they
expensive,
make
like all the
which is
pensions and
why they raise the
they're
pension age.
expensive.
Everything up, yeah.
Make you work longer. and
Because the older
hopefully
people,
die
they
before
don't
you-
produce anything. They don't
pension
produce
age.
money. They
Yeah.
cost money.
They
So
cost
just
money.
get rid of them.
Yeah, and then they wanna
import people
get
to
rid of
work.
But also, Stephen, in as far as the age sector here in Australia, we've got the My Aged Care, which is actually a great concept to me. I think Labor introduced it, but I'm not sure. Where so in a way, I'm in two minds about it. Like, yes, they've raised the pension age, maybe hoping that we'll all die before we reach it. But at the same time, for those that are eligible, you know, they do get looked after to keep them in their own homes.
And that's what they're not happy about.
But then why introduce it if they're not happy
Well,
about
they were
it?
happy about it then, they're not happy about it now.
Well, because they want to look good. They want to look nice. We've got more elderly voters at the moment, don't we?
Do we?
Well,
Then what
Because we're living longer.
We might have more than
Well-
what we will in the future because
We're living longer.
Well, we're having less babies. That's 100%. 100%.
Well,
but
that's
we're
one way to
importing,
curb the population.
we're importing huge numbers of
explosion.
people aged between 20 and
Yeah,
maybe
30,
35 as well.
Yeah.
So there's a massive amount of people that age coming through, so they can work while the older ones are dying.
And we've got a census coming up for everyone watching or listening or sitting around the table. Census is coming.
Remember, it was hacked last time.
I think it was.
So they got all your private. They told it. Remember, they kept telling you how
I
safe
don't
it
think I
was.
did it last time.
They told you how safe it was last time,
I don't
and
remember doing
we all
it.
put in our personal information.
Oh, yeah.
And they hacked it all. It was all hacked into. And they told us it was safe.
Was it done online? I just
Yeah.
don't remember even
Yeah, I
doing
thought
it.
It was
quite honestly.
online.
Oh, that one was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I remember as a kid it was on paper.
Yes. It used to be on paper, yeah.
Yeah.
It took like 2 hours to fill.
And it was quite a, and it was all about who's this and how much you earn. It was everything. It was like, spill your guts out. Someone said to me the other day, well, last night we
Just
were at
lie.
the party. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. Just lie. Just
But,
bullshit.
no, but you've got to make sure the lie is consistent with the lie that you made last
And
time.
the thing is,
You can't just
they'll
keep
check
changing
they
it.
can check your taxes. They
As
can
long as
probably
you
check your
started
bank
lying
accounts,
30 years ago and you've kept consistent in that lie, then
So then, it makes me wonder. So
but
why
you
do
could
we
have
need to
changed
do
your
that again?
gender and race by since the last census
Yeah,
anyway.
just start
Can you
ticking the
get
box. Mate.
fined for not doing a census? Does
Yes.
anyone know?
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah. They'll come and knock on your door.
I'd rather pay the fine.
Is it a big fine? Maybe it's not worth doing. Maybe it's
if
worth
I
not
just,
doing it.
you
You
can
know, I
Google
think
what
my
it
eyes
is.
were shut for so many years. All right, I think lots of people's eyes were shut for a long time.
Yeah, of course they were. Our eyes
You
are.
just went along with it, you know. You just went along.
We
with it.
believed everything. We
But
trusted
now,
them.
see, that's the problem
Remember-
now. We've got so much friggin' information out there that it's jumbling all our brains.
I
You
mean,
know,
I
and,
think
and
if you see how it affects you
Everything
on a
just
personal
like-
level, you do start asking questions.
this is why I
Enough's
try
enough.
not to watch too much. I don't watch TV. I hardly turn the TV on, but
Yeah, I don't actually.
especially news. But it's on Facebook.
Yeah.
It's on the. I listen to the car radio
It's on
because
the
I'm in the
apps,
car
right?
all day.
So
Yeah,
it's still the
The
same
news
kind of
breaks.
stuff, yeah.
So you're still getting fed that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's some people. It's like Liz watches a lot of documentaries and a lot of news programs and politics, and it couldn't be furthest from my mind. Like I don't want to know.
Well,
I'm
that's
happy
why you're
living
such
in
a
my
good
little
part of
bubble.
the panel, Norms. Because you see things through a different lens.
Yeah.
And we've known that for years.
You're our adversary, in our opinion.
Well, we have a blend, don't we? We miss you, Phil. Where are you, mate?
Yeah, Phil.
Phil's sort of in between, isn't he?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
A bit of both.
Yeah, well, he's an old school truckie, hippie, like, you know. It's a real blend, isn't it? Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. Yeah, all right. What else do you want to talk about? I'll tell you something quickly, very quickly, because I know you're not into guns. But
Me either.
But if anyone's got any information on the 94 model Winchester 4440, the Battle of Big Longhorn, commemorative edition
Big
rifle,
Horn.
Little Bighorn, what did I
Not
say?
Big Longhorn.
See, mine's in the gutter. Little Bighorn, commemorative edition, gold-plated Winchester lever action. I'm currently contemplating purchasing one, and I don't know much about them, but I'd like to know more. So yeah, let me know what you know, if anything, because there's two currently in South Australia, and they're somewhat collectible.
They're worth a fortune.
Well, they're not tens of thousands of dollars, no, but they're couple of $1,000. I mean, you go and buy a brand new U-Butte bolt action high powered rifle for the same sort of money as what these things are. But I just like the cowboy stuff, of course, you know. And anyway, a couple have popped up, and I'm thinking about getting hold of them.
Well, I don't know about anyone else. Local stuff. we haven't really talked a lot about this budget and the effects that the Albanese government has had on us personally. Like, what's the squeeze? What's the squeeze on you? Like, how are you feeling?
I mean, I haven't really noticed too much difference. I'm still able to put extra on my mortgage and live comfortably, pay all my bills.
The rates have gone up though.
Everything's gone up, I agree, but my wages have also gone up. My income has gone up. So I feel, but I'm one of the lucky ones. I don't have a huge mortgage, you know. I don't have huge weekly repayments. So for me, maybe I'm not the best person to ask. Maybe Stephen, because I don't know how long you've been in your house and what your mortgage is like. You're newly married.
Been yours for a while,
For
haven't
20
you?
years.
Yeah.
Oh, you've been that long too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you were there with your dad, weren't you?
No, I've been there for 20 years. I've had that house for 20 years.
Oh, so you don't have a mortgage then, I'm guessing.
No. So but it's the next generation of kids.
No, I can't say it's affected me at this stage. But yes, things have gone up. We've all noticed fuel.
It
Well,
would
that
affect
has a
you
bit to
if
do
you
with
wanted to have some investment properties or something
Yeah, well,
like that.
see,
That would
that's
affect
it.
you.
There's where I'm also a bit different to, like Liz and Adam, for example. I don't need to be rich. I just need to be comfortable, and that is what I'm doing now. I'm fine. I've got some super. I've got, you know, I'll pay off my mortgage in a few years.
Well done.
Small payments
then be eligible for a pension if they're still around when I turn pension.
And then
age.
they want to take your house after that. As soon as you've
Well, I
paid it
don't
out, remember the next step is to they'll assess the value of your house to figure out how much pension they can take from
they're
you.
going to means
They
test
want to
it now,
change
are
it. So before it didn't matter what the value of your house was. And what they'll want to do now is they'll look at the value of the house. They'll think, why should we pay her the pension when she could just sell a house and live on the street?
We can just
and then
you can
use
just
that
sell
money
your
to
house
pay for herself.
to earn your money.
Is that a real thing?
That
though?
is
That
a
doesn't
fucking
seem
thing.
real to me either. I can't
And
imagine
they're
that they're going to
talking
kick
about
you
the
out.
death tax.
Make
Like
you
they want to
sell your
penalise.
house.
They want to
they
penalise
won't make you do it,
children.
but you'll feel like maybe that will be a realistic option for you to do, and you'll
their
contemplate.
example is-
I'm
they're
going to
going to
say
make
this.
it hard to earn.
I
a
remember
pension,
when
you
you bought your place, and to be able to think, because that's not that long ago.
No, but I didn't have a huge mortgage,
No.
not compared to what people have now. But
well,
I am on my own, so it's
I
one
reckon
single
that's,
wage.
if you're able to, you can realistically sit here and say, "Oh, in 5 years, I'm going to pay that off." That's amazing.
Mostly.
That's pretty
I
fucking
might
good.
still have a little bit, but
You
it
know,
won't
I've
be
had.
huge.
Let me just count them up, and I'm
Well,
not just
remember,
trying to
you
show
don't
off
pay your
here.
mortgage totally
1,
off.
2, 3,
No, I
4,
don't, yeah.
5. I've had 6 houses. 3 of them are still currently being paid for. The other 3 were gone. I've never owned one of them. I've never paid one of them
No.
off.
Yeah. Well, I've never owned one either.
So how good am I at property?
We have paid
No,
them off.
but
I'm a lot older than you, and I haven't
however,
owned a
you could
house.
have
We have
sold
paid
2
them
and
off,
paid
but
off
we had
the
to
1
sell
if you
them
wanted
first.
to, couldn't
Well,
you?
it was all done over a
Yeah, I know.
some didn't exist in that
Yeah.
yet. But like that's why I say, like, to be able to, because after George died and you had to move on with life, and then you bought this other place, like, and that's not that long ago.
No,
to-
it's
to-
2017.
But see, that's
I believe.
another thing that they want to. That's
But
another
that's
thing
really
they
good.
want to attach a tax to is what you leave to your children. They're talking about a death tax.
So I had to go to the toilet, so we went towards this budget. Didn't we?
Yeah, I just sort of
Didn't they
wanted to get
abolish
on
death
some local
taxes
stuff.
many
Well,
years ago? They're bringing them back in again.
Well, all
I
I've
mean,
seen,
everything
and
old is new again.
and I'm yet to, I don't think we got an explanation leading up to the budget about how the changes were supposed to help. Okay,
Oh, we got a lie. They told us a lie.
Yeah, so the premise was we're going to be the housing market's out of it. Now I think we could all agree that numbers were going up and up and up and up and up and up, which is great for those that can afford for numbers to go up and up and up and up. Or if you've got property, you want to make money, great, sell them because people will pay big money.
But then the prices are dropped.
But the kids that we've got, or young people that we know, are like, fuck, we're fucked. We can't do anything unless you're in that bracket of a really good earn and when you can get the money to pay these huge big prices. That's not great. So look, it's the housing market obviously got away from a generation of people.
Yeah.
Yes, agree. I do agree. one part of me says, well, some blokes can, some blokes can't. Right? If you really want it, you're going to find a way to get the fucking thing. You will work 3 jobs. You will upskill. You will
go
bush.
halves with your brother or
whatever you got to
something,
do. Yeah. So that's sort of part of me thinks that. But then the government said, no, we're going to make changes to make it better. We're going to bridge the gap into this intergenerational
That was all a
issue.
lie. All of that was a lie.
The changes they've made were never explained. Well, maybe they were. Please correct me if I'm wrong. How was it going to help them?
Well, they said that they
didn't say how.
Well,
they just said they're doing this to
they're
help
going to
them.
make it easy to buy your own house by completely destroying the rental market.
But yeah,
just completely destroying it.
Yeah.
So,
And I don't know if it's made any difference
Well,
for
it
them, because they're
has.
saying
It has.
well,
a huge
price, like the sale rates have already dropped.
Yeah,
like the big
that's what I
centres.
mean.
no one
even
has any confidence in the market.
The
House
prices
prices
are
have
falling.
dropped.
You know.
Although
But no one can afford them.
My Mel and Michael sold for more than what they wanted,
Yeah,
so
right.
that was lucky.
Yeah,
but
but this is only
but
the
the
last
other
2
Michael
months.
and Mel
It's only
sold
the
for
last-
less than what
This
they
is
wanted.
the last
Yeah.
6 weeks. This is just like the last 6
Yeah,
weeks.
Yeah, well, this is within that time.
Yeah, it was too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Well, it was-
they both
yes,
sold their homes within the last 6 weeks.
A huge factor is if you have a beautiful looking home and people can just move in and not have
Well,
to
that's
do
what I
much to
said.
it.
Yeah.
That's why I said, like, Mel
Yeah.
and, like,
All the
Mel
work's
B-
been done. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what I said. Like, these days, people are very bland
Yeah.
in their taste. Like, they
Yeah.
want to see a blank canvas. And if you
Not like our
had,
day.
which Mel B's house had character, it had real character. So, and you can bet your bottom dollar that whoever's bought it is going to go in there and get rid of all
I
of
think
that
it's an
character that
investor.
they put in there.
I think it's an investor.
Oh, so where do you
Well, they
invest?
Oh, hang
may
on.
not.
No. I'm thinking of My Mel. My Mel's is an investor, I think. Which she wanted to get
Not
in before
now.
these new rules.
Okay.
Yeah. Wanted to
Yeah.
get
Well,
right for
one
the
thing
new
I
rules.
I haven't liked about it, and it's all. This has all been targeted on investor type people, and historically, Australia has been mum and dad investors, normal people, not
And not just
Alan Bonds of
not
the
just
world.
Now will be
investors,
government and
they're
super.
just
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
people like us.
not just investors, people that are setting themselves up to have something to leave for their children, some sort of
Well, that's what that's called, mum and dad
legacy for
investors.
their children.
So the majority of
government
people in
will say-
Australia that are
Yeah.
investors own 1.7 properties, not 10, 1.7. That's how the maths works
That's
out.
the average, yeah.
Yeah, the average amount of properties investors in Australia own is 1.7 properties. We're
Well,
not
that will go
talking.
down significantly.
Well, it probably will.
1.2.
Well, the
or
thing is,
1.1
so
or-
okay, so it will. It's
Yeah.
going to take a decade.
Well, it
The
might take
current
6.
investors, don't worry about the last 6 weeks and property price. Got nothing to do with it. That's not what they're trying to do. That will be an offset of what they've done, but that's not what they're trying to do. They'll say, look how good we've done. Now all these young people can afford, because their house prices drop 100 grand, now they can get in. They still can't.
Exactly.
They still can't get in. But what's going to happen? So everything's been grandfathered. Everything's been grandfathered. If you were never negatively gearing 5 properties, you can still do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you want to sell one, you're probably going to not make what you could have done
Yeah,
last
and you
year.
can't move things around. Like, hey, you said you were moving
it's
stuff
cut
around.
down the what do you call that word? I'm trying to
CGT.
think of demographic
Yeah.
of people who
Yeah,
can
yeah.
buy
Yeah.
the property, because
yeah.
you
So that
won't
all
be
the-
getting investors
So
buying
that
your
all the
property.
people, so obviously mass immigration was the reason the prices went up.
Yeah.
And they're bringing the prices down so more massissive immigrants can buy more houses at cheaper prices.
Yeah, and hopefully,
Yeah.
you can buy one, or
Yeah.
I don't remember if you've bought one or you're renting. I can't remember.
What can I get you?
Large black coffee.
You know what I mean? Like, so Mackenzie and Aiden can buy one, or so.
Oh no, that's the lie. They're
know.
telling us it's so that we can buy them.
Yeah, but
That's so that we
but there's
agree
been
to
no
it.
explanation on
They're
how
just
it's gonna
saying
be
that so
better.
that we agree to it and we keep voting for
Yeah,
them.
yeah. Oh,
but it's so that
100%.
people from overseas can
That's all
buy
they
them.
ever do.
Yeah.
Because all the people from overseas came and bought all the houses. Now there's no houses left for all the extra people they want to bring from overseas.
Well, I'll tell you.
So they've taken it away from the investors so they can sell them to all the people that keep coming from overseas.
Well, the other thing I don't like, I don't mind really that you can no longer negatively gear. It does have tax advantages if you're on a good earn, so you can offset your earnings against your tax paid on losses for an investment property. That's what's been
Well,
cut.
we've
That's
got
shit,
Peter.
right? The other thing I don't
I've got a
like.
clip up here from Peter Credlin we can watch if you want.
Well, the other thing I really don't like is what they've
Explaining
done
the
with
backlash.
SMSF. So self-managed super funds now can no longer borrow money to buy residential property.
Why?
Because they said no more.
Because they want the big ones
But it's
only now.
self-funded. You should be able to do what you want with that.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Exactly.
Doesn't benefit
I
them
don't know
though,
much
does
about it, though.
That's
Has to
exactly the
benefit them.
thing. That they're
Exactly.
manipulating everything. They want what you earn,
Now, the reason...
what you've earned, what you earn now, and what you could possibly earn in the future.
And anything that you save.
and
Anything that you say.
and the discount on the CGT, like it's just like a kick in the dick for anyone that's trying to do well.
You know, with this negative gearing, can you still do that with the brand new home? Is that how they went?
That's yeah.
So
On a
you
new
buy a
build,
brand
But
new.
a brand new
build,
home
brand
won't
new
always
build.
be a brand new home,
New
though.
build. No,
Like
Yeah,
what
but-
happens if you want to sell that one and get another one? or
Well,
something?
then you can't. You've only get it once. Yeah,
That's right.
The next bloke can't do it. Yeah, so it
No,
has-
the next bloke can't. But you can then buy another new one and negative
well,
gearing.
build a new one. Yeah.
Build, yeah,
yes,
new build.
Yes.
So then it benefits the rich, doesn't it? Again.
Well,
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with that.
because
Which is,
they're
no,
the rich,
but, no,
but
but
they're
no,
the
there's
rich.
nothing wrong with it. But that was their whole argument.
But they're but that's
was-
that's the thing. But they know that they can't. I said this. They know they can't close those loopholes
No,
because they lose
they
it
do
for
it.
themselves.
That's right. They do it for themselves.
Okay, let's see. This is like this was a month ago, but this is like some of the backlash.
Yeah, this was a popular one, this
Yeah.
one. How many views?
Regarding that horror budget last week, the more I'm convinced that this was done in a rush, that they didn't think things through. And even where things were considered in the usual way that governments consider budgets, those Labor types sitting around the cabinet table had no idea of the real-world consequences of their decisions. And this is because Labor politicians do not live in the real world. Labor ministers come into the parliament a long way removed from the lived experience of those who run small businesses or farms or simply aspire to get ahead.
This Treasurer hasn't got a clue. This government hasn't got a clue. You know why? Because none of them have ever worked seriously in small businesses. None of them understand it. They don't get it. They haven't got a clue. It's a death tax by stealth. There's no doubt about that. Look, there's a lot of stealth in this budget.
And they don't get it because the modern Labor politician comes up through activism at university, activism through the unions, and increasingly left-wing factional activism that sets them up in opposition to the aspirational capitalism that's been a hallmark of this country and built so much of our prosperity. Work hard, get ahead. Well, that used to be the Australian way, not anymore. And when these Labor MPs take big decisions, as they did in the budget, they do so in a vacuum. They simply do not understand the consequences that will occur on the ground when these decisions hit home. Can you just imagine it, can't you? Labor politicians, they would have thought that anyone operating a testamentary trust was someone rich with a whole lot of money to dispose when they die. But example after example shows this is not the case. Even people with modest means want to organise their affairs so that they can look after those they love with whatever money is left when they die. And at a minimum, we're really talking here about only really the proceeds from the sale of the family home and maybe some super squirreled away, not rich people. Now, for reasons that Labor still can't explain, the budget changes that have exempted the fixed testamentary trusts from these GST changes do not exempt the discretionary ones. Now, here's the difference. A fixed trust specifies who will get whatever money and whatever other items of value from your estate when you die. A fixed trust is established in the will. It dictates exactly how and when the assets are distributed. There's no leeway for the trustee. And when I say this, it's specific. A fixed trust must detail your disbursements. For example, you want $50,000 to Jane, $80,000 to John, $100,000 to Mary. And as the name implies, these amounts are fixed and they can't be changed unless the trust deed is remade. Now that, of course, when you remake a trust means stamp duty implications and legal fees. That's a fixed trust. As I said, Labor has not hit it with death taxes. The other they have. The other type of testamentary trust is a discretionary trust. And this is the trust that will now cop the 30% death tax. It's a trust that is established within the will that only becomes active after the will maker passes away. Instead of assets being given outright to beneficiaries, the nominated trustee is the person who controls the assets. Well, they've got absolute discretion over how the income and the capital is distributed to the group of beneficiaries. Again, as the name implies, it is discretionary. It puts your money in the hands of your nominated trustee when you die. That could be your lawyer, it could be your accountant. They then work out, based on your general wishes, who gets what, depending on how much is left in your estate and the circumstances of your family members for whom you have left money. So here's an example. You leave each of your 3 children an equal sum, but you leave it to the discretion of your trustee that the money is adjusted based on the number of grandchildren that your children might have in the future. When you establish your trust, let's say you don't have any grandchildren at all. You hope they'll come and you want them all looked after, but you can't fix them in the trust because you don't know who they are and you don't know how many you'll have in total. So it's a trust that can grow and evolve as the lives of your children, your beneficiaries, changes. Here's another very real example. Let's say you've got a child with a disability and you do not want to die suddenly and leave them with a big lump sum to manage. You worry that they're vulnerable and they'll need help. So you prefer a discretionary trust because that way your trustee can help your disabled child manage the money so that they're not ripped off and so that what you've got to leave them can last as long as possible to secure their future. Now, I have been inundated with dozens of emails from many of my viewers in just this circumstance. Many of you, you've told me you're not rich. What we are talking here is about a modest estate. As one mother said in her email to me, and I won't name her to protect her privacy, I have a daughter, Peter, with financial support needs. She's got a low IQ and is unlikely to ever earn a substantial or living income. One of my principal concerns is that should I pass away, a direct lump sum inheritance could expose her to financial exploitation. A testamentary trust provides an important safeguard by ensuring that inherited assets can be managed responsibly for her long-term housing and living needs. A flat 30% tax rate to distributions from discretionary testamentary trusts, this is what the government's bringing in, would significantly reduce, she says, the income available to support vulnerable beneficiaries such as my daughter. In practical terms, writes this mother, this would erode the value of relatively modest inheritances and may ultimately increase reliance on government income support. So this mum is trying to ensure her daughter is off the taxpayer, yet Albanese is taxing her hard. Hard. That mother is right to be worried. And what's the win here for the government? I mean, what is the benefit? That mother could give her daughter a lump sum. She doesn't want to, we know why, but she could give her a lump sum and that would not be taxed. She could give her a lump sum via a fixed trust. Again, no tax. But in trying to protect her disabled daughter, Labor is going to hit her with a new 30% death tax. Now, the fact that Bill Shorten exempted all of these testamentary trusts, fixed and discretionary, from earlier CGT tax proposals, that shows that Shorten understood the reality of these arrangements.
Yeah, but he wasn't in
and the fact that
$1
Jim
debt.
Chalmers now can't explain why he's upended all of this,
That's right.
well, that says everything you need to know.
Look, I'm not revisiting the decisions that we took some parliaments ago. Our job is to make the right decisions on policy in 2026, not to redo the policy decisions taken in 2018 or 19 or whenever it was.
That's code for I can't remember why we did it. I think we stuffed up, but I don't want to admit that we've got it as wrong as we had. Nothing tells me more that these changes were rushed, not understood, and certainly not thought through than this death tax hit. As each day passes, the budget gets worse and worse as people start to pick through the detail that Labor itself can't even understand, doesn't understand, and can't explain.
Can't explain it, that's right.
This is what I think's happened. As the Liberals started to tank at the start of the year, you know, leadership speculation, turf the leader, bad polls, Labor went for broke. Yeah. Albanese pulled out of the bottom drawer all the hard left tax wish list ideas that he's carried around in his backpack since his university days, and he threw them all on the table. Now, his weak ministers, they didn't understand any of it, so they waved it all through. Now, the chickens are coming home to roost. If he goes hard, this could be the beginning of the comeback for the coalition as Angus Taylor plays to his economic strengths. But what is already clear is that this budget has no winners. Almost every Australian is a loser, and the Prime Minister is the biggest loser of all.
Sorry to break it.
And there you have it, people.
Well, and Peter certainly has her alliances that aren't with the Labor Party. So
Labor Party.
She's
Liberal Party.
That's it. So she's like that's a yeah, she's saw an opportunity and bang.
But Sky News is basically the Fox News of Australia.
Yeah.
Let's face it.
Yeah.
So, but what hits me the most
But again, she was
is
on
what
the money.
she said.
No
That's
explanation.
Right.
There was no explanation.
There was no explanation. But the
we're doing this, and it's going to be all good. Hang on a minute. It's good for who?
The facts point to. So, did you understand
Good for
any of that,
votes.
Laws?
Yes, of course.
So,
You want the young voter.
how it's going to affect you and
When I
your
die.
The problem is that they're so far in debt. This country's got itself, and not just this government. The last 20 years, what we should watch is
ScoMo, from ScoMo.
from
with big ears. What's his name?
Peter Costello.
No,
20 years.
Was it?
20 years ago,
Oh,
he
yes,
sat
it
there
was. It was Peter.
and
But I
God
think
bless
we
his
did
soul.
We did that on the show,
No,
me and you, didn't we?
You and I just watched
Yeah.
it. 20 years ago, Australia debt free. 20 years.
Yeah.
It was the 16th of
From Howard.
June or May, April or something.
Something like that.
16th. Let's say it was April. 16th of May. April 16th, 2006.
Something like
2006.
that. Yep, 2006.
Costello had the privilege of being able to stand up in the House and say, Australia, as of today, is debt free.
It's like we don't even care now, isn't it?
No.
We don't even care how
It's
high
only
it
20
gets.
years.
It's crazy.
20 years ago.
It's not even a whole
I was
generation.
30.
Yeah.
And who followed?
Now, every government
So
sits
the
there.
Liberal Party was in. I can't remember who was in back then.
Liberal, Peter
they were,
Costello and
yeah.
John
They
Howard.
had 11,
And when
11 or 13.
did they? When did they exit? When did
Then.
Labor get back in?
2007.
Yeah,
Right.
with Kevin
Kevin
Rudd.
Rudd.
Oh, Kevin, yeah.
Until Big Ears.
Kevin
they
07.
gave-
Remember
they
Kevin
gave-
07?
Yeah, they gave
Now I
Kevin
So what he did,
a debt-free
Hang on,
Australia.
I'll tell you what he did. They got it debt free, and they formed what he called the Future Fund, the Australian Future Fund. So all of the surplus money that was available now would go into the Australia Future Fund, and the idea of the Future Fund was that Australian Treasury from there could decide where to invest Australia's money for the benefit of Australia. Not 1 cent went back into it after they left government.
Yeah.
And all they've done is borrow, spend, borrow, print, spend,
Print,
borrow,
inflation, bribery, welfare,
and now
NDIS.
we're $1 trillion in debt, and this fucking budget is the only way they're going to try and get squeeze every fucking cent they can out of us to reduce this fucking
And not
debt.
to mention, between the two parties in the last 20 years, we've had about 20 leaders, like just
20?
Yeah, between the two parties. Well, let's face it. We went from Howard, stable government with Howard, to Kevin, to what's
Julia.
her face,
Gillard.
Julia, then back to Kevin. Then we went to
Abbott.
Then Abbott got ousted.
Turnbull.
Turnbull got ousted.
ScoMo.
ScoMo got ousted. Well, he resigned after he lost the election and lost his seat.
Yeah.
So, you know,
two Liberal governments since the Howard era.
we've had so many
And Malcolm was a disaster.
disasters. That's the word I was looking
And he
for.
can't
So
let
many
go.
disasters with our government.
So basically, what you're saying is they're just as bad as each other.
Yeah. Look, 100%, Morse. Yeah, we are saying that.
That's why I don't vote for them either.
No, well, that is. I think that's what I've started to say. I swayed one way for many years because I saw the prosperity we had.
Yeah.
And I was fortunate because in that pre-06 Australia's debt-free era, I was able to buy a house with $2,000. I was able to almost earn $1,000 a week. We didn't go without anything.
Okay, and so in saying that,
I was 24 years old.
Let's just admit we had prosperous times under a Liberal government, right? We had prosperous times under a Liberal government. The possibility of getting that type of Liberal government back again to be in charge
We bought our first house on the same street as Darren.
is on
Who's
us.
watching.
Yes.
I remember that,
He's
Daz.
still watching. Okay, actually, let's just, I've got Aidan, your mates, chatting away here. We never ever had a chat.
Put it
And
on
of
the
course,
screen. Change
when
our
I
screen
see
so
it-
we can see.
Hang on. Oh, hang on. This one. I have to go to...
So it's a big tax grab, Morse. This budget's been a big tax grab. Now, there is some
Obviously,
concessions.
they're trying to get the country
Yeah,
back
they're
out
trying
of
to
debt.
claw
so
money
they've got to
back.
grab it
That's right.
from us.
They've got to get
because
it from everywhere.
buy
They
the
can't
votes,
get it
yeah.
from anywhere else.
Where
unless they sell
I
things.
really feel like smashing the people that are working hard to better themselves, to be less reliant on government. We're going to be more reliant on government, which is exactly what they want, with our own money anyway.
They're disincentivising anyone that wants to
Exactly.
work.
When Australia 20 years ago could have and should have started to become the powerhouse we actually want to be.
And then all about resources as well.
This is where I'm going, mate. This is exactly where I'm going with it. We've got the capacity with our resources
We
over the
could be
last
the
20
richest
years.
country in the world.
The Japanese and the US even, they couldn't do what we did 20 years ago.
Okay.
Debt free.
Stephen, can you read that?
Do you think they don't want to
That's
use
your
their own
mate.
resources?
Oh, yeah,
because
yeah,
they
I've
want
already
to
read it. I read it on my
keep
phone.
Okay,
relationships
you need
with
to
the
read it
countries
out
that
aloud.
do.
Yeah, they need
Oh,
to-
it's not even
So they
related to
don't
what
want
we're
to
talking
risk-
about.
Well, what are
Us
we, what
being
is this
invaded
about?
by it.
It's not related to what
That's
we're
the
talking
whole
about.
idea about putting you live on so that we can read it out loud.
Yeah, because
so
we're still on
Aidan,
the coattails.
He
of
did say something at the top when he said, and she is an absolute weapon. So I'm not sure who the she is.
Who's the she?
I don't know. It
Cred-
could be you.
that
I don't know.
Credlin, probably, that
Peter
Yeah.
Credlin.
reporter.
He said she is an
I'm guessing.
absolute weapon.
It's a bit hard to read.
And-
Here's, mate,
Yeah.
you can read it.
We can't read it.
And
The
his
screen's a bit
need a magnifying
IOMG.
glass.
As I-
And she is an absolute weapon on a person, and his IOMG. He is excellent. Is he talking about a he or a she?
Well, if it's excellent-
Are we trannying again
if it's
here?
excellent, it's referring to me, obviously.
Oh,
But
okay.
excellent.
He is excellent in thought and form.
Yeah, well, that would be me.
Oh,
Yeah,
he really loves you.
yeah.
He'll be the executor. Oh, yes. You'll be
Yeah.
the
It's all
executor
personal
of his
stuff.
will.
Is just sort of added in there.
You want a cheap house at Davo?
Oh, was that Davo your friend? Who was Davo?
Darren.
Oh, Darren.
Well, hold on.
Not sure. I can't read it.
It says, get
Oh,
a free...
he doesn't mean Davern Park, does he?
Oh, maybe.
Oh,
He
maybe.
could mean Davern Park. I'll just bring up
Well,
on
there's
my
still
phone.
cheap. There's still plenty of cheap housing available.
I know
but
he
you've
said.
gotta
I
be-
know he said. How many letters can you put on this lame chat? I got
Yeah.
serious stuff to write.
Yeah, I think he means Davern Park. You can get an old house for 600,000 or 700,000.
Hackham West.
Yeah, but when he's read Davo, I think he means
But I wouldn't
Davern
live
Park.
Maybe.
China wants to get lost wingers. Who are the wingers? Get a free house in Andamuka for free if
Yeah.
you want to get the tax sorted till you can figure out.
Oh yeah, my
Section-
friend got a free house. It was just basically a half knocked down house, but as long as he's willing to pay council rates,
Yeah.
He literally got it
Well,
for
that's
free.
what they're doing in Italy and that now,
Yeah.
isn't it? In Europe, you buy a house for
Yeah,
€1.
Davo is Davern Park.
Okay.
Okay.
He said it's 600, 700,000.
See, I don't think that's cheap for a house in Davern Park.
Me either.
Well, that's how much it's gone
about
up.
the
That's how much it's gone up.
Darren Park like Burgoon or something, isn't it?
Well,
It's same with Hackham.
Oh, and
West,
he's
you can
written
buy them.
Chindia wants
6
your
to
block.
7.
So it means people from China and India
Yeah.
want the land.
Well, the Chinese want our block that we've got. I know that for sure, and I won't sell it for that exact reason. That's why I haven't just sold it.
What block?
No,
Dad's
place.
block. China's been after it for years. They keep every couple of months or so, 4 or 5 months, they'll send Adam a message.
Why,
There you go.
Adam? Why don't they send it to your mum if it's your dad's
No,
block?
no,
No, no,
my dad's, our dad's house.
Oh, our
Seacliff,
dad's
yeah.
block. Sorry, I thought you meant your dad's.
No.
Yeah.
Your dad's place.
Yes, we have been, like I just said, every few months he'll send Adam a message saying, "Oh, how you going? You got any ideas?"
Who is this bloke? Who?
Oh, he's just some guy that Adam. I don't know how
Yeah,
he
nice
even
guy.
came across him. I think he contacted
Did you have a
us when we were-
valuation once?
A
'Cause
long
I have,
time
and now
ago.
I keep
It was a
getting.
long time ago. It was when we were
It was when we were
doing all of
doing-
the house stuff.
Yeah. Johnny, nice guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they don't
he's just-
forget. They keep
Oh,
reminding
well, that's
you.
their job. Yeah.
Are you thinking of
always looking
No.
for a sale? That's the if you're a salesman, that's what you do, don't you?
And so, anyway, do you think what's the like aside from One Nation? Because like as much as everybody creams their dacks at the thought that Pauline Hanson could be the Prime Minister,
Yeah.
not you, Moors, but you know.
Oh, it's got to be better than these other two.
Well, but that's do we like we just established that there was common sense in the Liberal Party at one stage, just like
Yeah,
there was
20
common
years
sense.
ago.
Yeah.
So is
Yeah,
there
yeah.
a possibility that we can get back to that
Well,
stage?
they're fighting it now. The Liberals are fighting it constantly. If you listen to anything what they're saying, they're not like anything what they were 20 years ago.
No.
So what like so it's up to us then. We need to filter out the
It's
doofuses.
like they
If we have to stick with this two-party like
Yeah.
procedure that we have, we're never going to get a third party in ever.
They
So
construct
we
it so
have
you
to
can't.
fix the ones that are there. We have to like terminate
mate, the
their
fix is in.
ability to make our rules.
They fixed the raffle.
That's what I'm saying.
They fixed the raffle for
it's
100
the old
years.
Trump analogy. It's all rigged. It's all rigged. Like, why have they, for however many years they've been doing elections, given us pencils to write
Did you
out,
actually
fill in our ballots?
Did you hear Trump's speech?
Pretzels, number two
Did you hear
pretzels.
Trump's speech on Friday? How
Yeah, I
they
heard.
rigged the election?
But what
China.
Mark Wayne McMullen is going to do diddly fucking squat to solve
And
any of
how
those
Obama
fixing
found
it.
all the records that showed
Same
exactly
with
what
Russia.
was going
They
on.
definitely rigged their elections. If you ask
And
me,
how
I
China
don't know
have the
about you.
details of all the voters, how they hacked into the systems.
Yeah, I know.
How they
You got
paid
hacked, didn't you?
journalists.
You got hacked by Qantas.
They
got
paid journalists to run
from
negative
Qantas.
stories against him.
Well, like Georgia,
Paid by China.
they said, I think they said 40% of Georgian Republicans went to vote in 2020 and they were told that they had already voted by mail. And these people don't vote by mail. So that's 40% of the population that would have voted for Trump had they been able to vote.
You see all the people rocking up at the mailboxes with a whole big stack of votes and just
But I'm
chucking
talking
them all
about
in.
our elections.
Yeah.
Like our elections, they've been handing us out pencils
Yeah,
for-
since
for
ever.
however many years I've been going
Cheaper
to.
than pens, mate.
Yeah, but cheaper than pens, easier to erase. Who knows?
But hang on.
Like,
Do you really
No.
think someone sits there with a rubber and
No, you
just
have different
erases
people,
everything?
but still, I would trust
Yeah,
that
they
more
have
than an
teams
online
of
on a
people
computer
doing it,
system that people
Maureen.
can hack into.
they
reckon
have
the-
teams of people doing it.
I reckon that whatever deals are done by who's
But
actually
they should
running
do
the
it
world.
online, really.
'Cause
Although
I firmly
that can
believe
be hacked too, I
that
suppose, can't it?
Albanese, Howard, Hawke, any of them. Look, pick one. Just pick one. Gillard, just pick another one. Go on, who's another one? Menzies,
Malcolm Fraser.
Burton, who's Australia's first Prime Minister. wasn't he?
Gough Whitlam.
That, you know what they are?
We going
They're
that far back?
nobodies. They're absolute nobodies. They're a figurehead of a fucking party that has no actual say. They're getting told what to do 10 rungs above.
So we need a Stephen.
It's just
Definitely
to,
agree with
it's
that.
just
We
to
need somebody
keep,
like a Stephen
it's
to
just to
run
keep us
the Liberal
talking
Party.
about shit.
That's right.
Has to be the leader.
And Pauline's
actually
the
be in
same. She's
opposition.
been
Our Adonis.
manipulated
of
by
the
his
Liberal
mother.
We'll be
Party.
manipulated. Yeah. But the thing is, if you can if you can connect with the will of the actual people, you got half a chance. You got half a chance
No,
of
you
making
just
them
bribe
happy.
the people with other people's money to get the votes.
Well, that's what's been happening.
Get the money
That's
for
what's been
yourself.
happening, and the
that's
country's
what- yeah,
in
that's
fucking
right. We're
debt
shit.
more than
We're
we've ever been.
fucked. We're screwed. We're
Yeah.
totally screwed.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Like, you need people like, seriously, people like you, me, Adam, Maureen, all of us people sitting around this table would make better politicians
They're not.
for this
It's
country.
not like they're that
for the
super
people of
educated
this
that they're so
country.
smart that they know how to run the place.
Because we, as the people, the real people that have suffered through their bullshit, want to go in there and we want to basically doge the place.
And we've
That's what we
actually
need
worked.
to do.
We've actually worked and had jobs.
Yeah, all you got to do is add the numbers up and see what you need to run the joint and go, right, well, what can we make? Well, we can make heaps there, and there. That's more than what we've got to pay here, and here. Right, just do that.
And Maureen, I ask you a
Just do
question. Would you lean more conservative or left? Like when it comes to economics? Like you don't believe in, surely you don't believe in a socialist system where everything gets shared amongst the people. Like no matter what, if you make 5,000 and he makes 500,000, they take from
No, I
his
don't believe
500
in
to
that.
give.
No, I don't think if people work hard and earn their money, they have the right to do whatever they want with their money
capitalism
and keep
is
it.
king.
Big government
But-
should be out.
Yeah,
It's not even about big government should be out. It's just I reckon it just needs.
I don't have jealousy to people who are,
grassroots people.
you know,
we've all
better
been
off than
turned
me.
off. We've all been like somebody like me that has often. I've applied to run for the United Australia Party a few years ago, you know. But here's the thing: what terrifies you these days, especially with all the technology, is they'll dig into your ass like they've got they're doing a colonoscopy on you. You know what I mean?
You know what my beef is with the people that don't pay the correct taxes. You know, people that get away with it, like these billionaires that get away with it.
Okay, so there's
hang on.
laws.
No, there's the thing. Let him explain.
Well, there's laws to say what you have to pay. So you just follow the law and pay
But
what
do
you have
they
to pay.
pay what they're
There's
supposed to pay?
laws.
That's what I mean.
There's laws.
Because that's not what we hear, is it?
Well, exactly.
Then blame the law. Blame the law, not the person that's
So
following
there's
it.
laws to tell you what you pay. So if you follow the laws, you pay what you pay.
But are the laws
Hang on.
skewed towards the richer people?
The laws are written so that those that can afford to find the gaps in the laws can expose the gaps.
Yeah, well, that's what I don't
The
like.
laws are skewed towards the people that write the laws.
If you were the boss, if you were the boss of the
Pay
whole
taxes.
place, if you were the boss of the whole place, earning $200 million a year, and there was a law that went, "Oh, I don't need that much to go there. I can keep that bit. Yeah, I'm going to use that to my advantage."
No, but
That's
if you're
what happens.
$200,
Still happening.
if you're
Jerry Packer was the king of the explanation.
But if your $200 million
The king of the explanation
was
of it.
made up of a huge bonus that earned the
Doesn't
company
matter where the money
trillions
comes from.
and the nation
You follow the law to pay your
trillions,
tax.
put it on a world
Expose
stage,
the gaps and keep doing
employed
better.
But when
100,000
when
people
you use loopholes,
because of the
are you
decision that
following
you
the law?
made.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yes, because
Who
the
wrote the
loopholes
laws?
are in the law.
They wrote them, so there's a loophole there for them.
That's
Well, then the
Yeah, they
laws
write
need
it
to
for
be
themselves.
changed
Well, that's
to
what
get
they
rid of
keep
the
trying
loopholes.
to do. But Maureen, this is what I said
And
before.
let everyone be fair.
Hang on, Morse.
Pay your share.
But the people that make
at the
the
last budget.
laws, the people
They
that
closed
make
all the
the
loopholes.
laws
are
are
doing
the
it for
ones
themselves
using
because
the
they're the ones.
loopholes. That's exactly what
That's
Jerry
right. The
Packer said.
lawmaker.
They're not going to
the-
write a
here's
law to
another
say they
thing.
can't have a pay
Okay,
rise, are they? They're not going to write that into the law.
Here's another
themselves.
fallacy that people have been told about millionaires and not paying the right amount of tax. Okay?
But meanwhile,
1%, hang on, the 1% of billionaires in the country
I'm
or in
not
the
just
world,
talking
hang on.
about billionaires,
well,
though.
all right, well, what do you consider rich?
Well,
what an annual
I'm
income?
even not even really the rich. Just whoever pays taxes
about-
should be paying
What
the
the law
fair
says that.
amount.
what
of
about
tax.
politicians getting a
So
pension?
there
How
shouldn't
is
be
that
any
fair on
loopholes.
anyone?
Just
No,
pay
let me
what-
finish
not
my
even a
point.
pension.
Let me finish my point. So the
Whatever the
richest
bracket
people,
is.
the top 1% of money creators in this nation pay the largest amount of tax.
But there's loopholes. But what I'm saying is,
but
get rid of the
there's loopholes
loopholes
for
and
you.
just pay that amount
But
of tax and be done with it.
No. But
Well,
they
we should have a
are.
flat
But
rate.
listen, they are
Well,
paying the right
that's never
amount.
gonna happen.
They are paying the right amount of tax.
That's
But
right.
here's what's happening in New York and California. They've tightened up the loopholes to attack the rich people that are providing the funds that the government uses to supply the lower income.
So they all move out.
So they're moving out.
they're fucking
They're
off.
losing access to these funds. You close the loopholes, you lose access to the people that are providing
And
you
it's
the
happening.
funds.
It's happening here now with property.
And that makes the lower income people live
Struggle
worse.
more. That's right. Yeah.
They're biting
So
the
you
hand that
can't
feeds them.
say, yes, that's right. You can't say everybody pay their tax and close the loopholes, because a lot of the people that use those loopholes don't put the money in their pocket. They reinvest
Yeah,
it
it's
into their
reinvested
business.
money. That's correct.
And they use
They
that
grow
money
their
to
wealth.
employ more people.
Because
and
if you get a
more
profit,
people employed.
if you make a
Exactly.
profit, then you spend that money as a deduction to offset the profit,
Exactly.
to reinvest into the business,
Exactly.
to create more future money
That's right.
and taxes
Yeah.
for the future.
And so let's
You're building
just
your
say,
net worth.
Longevity.
let's
Building
just
net
say,
worth.
Yeah.
for an example, let's say all the combined income from the people that work in Australia is $500 trillion, right? There is how many people in Australia? 28 million?
Something like that.
So if we have to divide, let's just say, how are they going to do this? Everybody gets $150,000 a year. Everybody gets the same amount of money. There's a lot more money there left over after everybody gets $150,000 a year.
And inflation's going crazy at the
Where
same
does
time.
that extra money go? That will go into the socialist coffers.
Government coffers.
That's exactly right. And that is the dangerous part about socialism, because any extra money, and usually
Have we ever had
Any
socialism in this country? I don't know. I don't think so. Have we?
forms of Medicare is a form of socialism.
It teeters on it.
Medicare is a form of
The
socialism.
more money you
like
take
in-
away
like
from a
government
working person
hospitals and
to
that's-
give to a non-working person is the closer you're moving towards.
That's what I'm saying. We
Yeah.
keep teetering on it.
So very, very, very high taxes is almost moving towards it, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's right.
But
Oh, Boris. Boris says we should have just a flat rate.
who said
No.
this?
Boris.
Boris.
So you work 3 days
He's
a
our
week for
Trump.
yourself
He's
and
the
2 days
Australian
for
Boris.
somebody else.
Boris
Yeah, I know who
something,
he is.
Yeah. I don't know a flat rate. When you say a flat rate for everybody.
Yeah.
So everybody pays 45% and the 45
Yeah,
cents
so
in the
that
dollar.
would work.
10%.
Yeah.
Hang on. You've just made that number up.
Right. I'm just saying
Yeah,
that's the highest tax
we are
bracket.
making numbers up.
That's
He's-
the highest tax bracket for Australia at 45 cents
Yeah.
in the dollar.
That's right. You
Yeah,
can't
from
obviously
100,
that won't
anything
work.
over 100, I'm going to say 190,000. Anything over 190,000 is a 45.
Right. And so we've got to find a medium in
It's
between.
got to be comparative to
That's
what
right.
you earn, obviously.
So what's the lowest tax bracket?
Zero.
Well, the
No,
first
the
paying
next
tax
lowest- the
bracket.
next
Oh,
lowest.
it's at $18,500, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
that's right. Yeah.
Right. So that
And I'll
will
get it.
calculate
But that's
at what?
18,500 is zero.
It's what, 2 cents in the
Yeah,
dollar?
Up to, no, hang on, I'll find out for you. 'Cause I'm not going to muddy the water with incorrectness.
I think it starts at 20%.
Right, Australian
I haven't even looked.
tax rates.
I don't know what it is either.
Well, the brackets have been the brackets have crept, and we talk about that a lot for the current. Okay, let me just right. For the current 26-27 financial year, Australia's personal tax rates for residents start at $0 for the first $18,200. So you get an $18,200 a year, pay no tax, and scale progressively to a top marginal rate of 45% for incomes over 190. These brackets exclude a mandatory 2% Medicare levy. Hang on, here we go. Okay, so from $18,200 $18,201 to $45,000 a year, 15 cents.
Right.
15 cents for every dollar over 18,201.
Okay.
Okay, then
All
from
right, let's
45.
stop there.
Okay.
Hang on, let's stop there. So let's just say we brought that down to 15 cents in the dollar for everybody. Is that going to generate enough money?
Boris reckons 25.
If we stop
Can I just
wasting money,
quickly
yes.
ask a
As long as we
question
don't
regarding
waste
that?
money, then
Is that
absolutely.
the gross income?
Yes.
Yes.
You've got to stop the wastage. You
Of
can halve the
course.
The
taxes.
spending. The spending's
Yep,
the problem.
the spending and
half
the
the
borrowing.
taxes.
Labor spending is the problem.
Yeah, if you halve the taxes and stop the wastage,
Oh.
we'll have more money.
Yeah,
and
it goes the fuck
we
out
could
of it,
pay
like
off
you
the
said.
debt with half the amount of taxes.
Yeah. This is what Boris says.
Yes.
This is exactly what he says.
Yeah.
Put it at a flat rate of 25%. I'm sure he
Boris,
says 25.
you need to run for Prime Minister.
And he's a-
We all need to be a little bit more conservative, I think, when it comes to the economy of this country. Like, we all need to be... Like, I wish to God that somebody in our government would say, damn it, we're going to start building fucking cars again. You know? We need to build shit in this country. We need to create medicines in this country.
Well, we do.
We do, but
Australia's a
we need
leader
to
in that.
create all of the stuff that we are currently getting imported. We need to be able
We
to
need
create
to open
it
up
here.
the uranium.
Because we
export
won't
of
always be
uranium
able to-
nuclear
supply,
power.
And we won't
supply
always
the
be able
world
to
with
import
uranium.
everything
That's
either.
exactly right. I mean, look at the Strait of Hormuz is causing now.
Or what
Imagine
happens
if-
when China drop off,
Exactly.
block off their strait?
Exactly.
We can't get
That's
anything
right.
then.
We can't get
South Pacific,
anything.
we're fucked.
So
Yeah.
all of your Temu shopping goes down the drain.
But aren't they talking about
That's why we're stocking up now.
reopening the what was it, the oil refineries or whatever it was that we have here?
That's what Pauline Hanson's talking about.
No, but wasn't Pauline Hanson, wasn't it?
Well, they've
Labor was
systematically
looking into
closed
it.
them
Oh,
since.
no,
And then they
Liberal,
burnt down the
Liberal.
Geelong
I
one,
think,
didn't they?
What's his name?
There's been
Angus
8
Taylor.
refineries.
I think,
Closed.
And they set one on fire, like one of the last
Well,
two.
we can.
Yeah,
I've
Geelong.
already asked this. We have the ability to have 3 super refineries like they have in China, under $1 billion, I think it was, I'm pretty sure it was $1 billion. For under $1 billion,
Well, they
Australia
could build
could
'em.
build 3 fast-tracked, cut the red
And so
tape.
that was the intent.
In 9 years, we
Yeah,
could have
okay.
3 super
So the
refineries up and
intent,
running.
Yep, and
so
this
the
would be-
intent of the future fund that Costello
right.
formulated was to do all
All
of
of
that
that.
shit,
Yeah.
and not one thing.
And this
ever
is why
got-
our government constantly lets us
Yep.
down. Every single day,
Yeah, man.
they borrow a cent from anyone, from anywhere, and then have to figure out how to pay it back.
Yeah,
They should
gotta
only,
come to
they
us
should
to fucking
only
pay it
borrow
back.
money when they're investing in something that will pay back
Pay
what
back.
they've borrowed.
That's right. That was his intent. That was his intent.
Yeah.
When we got debt free, like a huge business, so right, we got all this cash. We're going to invest and keep growing for net worth over future.
So you might borrow the
Didn't
money
happen.
to buy the refineries to pay off the money that you borrowed,
But the
and
refinery
then have a
make a
profit
killing
at the
and
end of
profit
it.
at the end of
Yeah.
it, and that was what it was meant to be. That's right,
Mm-hmm.
and it was meant to be with our iron ore industry, our gold industry, our uranium, our fucking fuel, our food, everything. Oh man! But
And
they-
then we
they
could
just-
sell to the world.
They just fucking squandered it.
Well, yeah, that's right. We could sell so much
All the
could we
excess,
sell to the
because we
world.
wouldn't know what to do with all the excess.
And here's the other thing. We've got straight open ocean to get to wherever we want.
Imagine
from here.
that we could build a fleet of submarines and all sorts of stuff.
Like, you
Have the
cannot
best
tell
defence.
me that we have
Could have.
so dumbified our children that we cannot produce engineers, we cannot produce, we can't produce
We
these
could be
people
selling
anymore.
weapons to the US. We'd have a huge buy. We could be selling all our submarines and
I know.
stuff over there if we just did what we just said.
Yeah.
Could have.
We've got the resources to build it all.
Could have.
Well, why are we building submarines?
So why didn't we? So let's.
We are building submarines.
Yeah, but we're not building
We're
them
selling
on
them.
their own back.
Doing a useless job of that.
What are we doing?
Remember
with them,
when
though?
China circumnavigated Australia and we couldn't even get them out of the ports? The ships?
Yeah, they're out of fuel because I like on that New Zealand
useless.
one. So why didn't
They
we?
just sailed right around.
I believe
We're so
we didn't
bad.
do any of that because we're still. I said this to you a little while ago. We're just a dag on the coattail of England.
Yeah. We need to fuck them off too.
Oh, they need
So
to go.
bad.
Yeah, they
Like, that's the first thing Australia needs to do
Yeah.
is we need to cut ties with England and become a republic.
Yeah, 100%.
Start our own
100%.
constitution
Yeah.
from scratch.
But can you imagine how bad it would be if we did that? It would be all about Aboriginals and
No. It
all
needs
sorts
to
of
be.
stuff.
We
it
could
needs-
make it be whatever
we
it
need to
needs
have-
to be.
But
Well, we
would you
basically
trust
need
the people that are writing
No,
it
but
though?
that's the thing. We need to have a continental congress, just like they did in the 1776. We need to appoint people to represent states and territories.
Isn't that what
and
we've
we
already
need-
done?
No.
No, well, we've done it
So
on
where's the
their
Australian
rules. We've done it on
Constitution?
their rules, not on our
So how would
own.
we even trust these people?
Well, we've
Look
got
at
to
who
vet
we've got
them. We
now.
Because the people will be us.
We get to vet them.
But that's what we were. The people, us, have already voted the people that are in now.
We have become so complacent
No, we don't.
in that role.
We
We've
don't.
become
The
so
party
complacent.
decides who the people are. We
When-
don't decide.
Stephen,
you're
when
right.
the election was happening, Adam was talking to people at work who didn't even know we were having an election. They didn't even know it was actually scheduled
No,
to
they
be.
wouldn't. They wouldn't know.
That's how ignorant and complacent we've become with our political system. We need to wake up to our political system if we want to jostle the fucking thing. Do you know what I mean? We need to be active. Like, even just Maureen being here activates her politically. We need to have people engaged in conversation about our government
Where's the-
and this republic
Where's
idea.
Where's the Constitution?
Oh God, love, it could be anywhere.
I can tell you, that's why she can't find it, because it's about that big.
Yeah.
And not one word
No.
is about you,
No.
me, or Moores, or Lizzie. Not one word in it.
And he's like, I read it and then I made him read it.
It's about 26 pages, about that big, photocopy with one staple in the
It's
corner.
all legal jargon.
And all it is, it's a system of rules of how the government runs. It's nothing to do about the country or the people in it.
We're going to wind up soon, Morza.
I need to use the bathroom.
Okay, well, yeah. But that's the honest to God truth about our constitution. It's basically a legal document to protect the British system from us overthrowing them.
Yeah, it's just it's a handbook on how government will run, not on what the country stands
But
for.
Britain
or
doesn't
what's
even
gonna
exist
be.
anymore. Just look at it.
Look,
I know,
you
but
wouldn't
that's what I
even
mean.
recognise
So why
it.
do we stay attached to it?
Exactly.
Yeah, so
Why
you're
do
talking
we-
about
why
the
do we-
Britain of now or the Britain of
affiliate ourselves with
Australia
them?
is just going to be a slow bleed
Yeah.
of England.
Like, that Union Jack
Yeah.
shouldn't be there anymore.
So when you're talking about Britain, you're not talking about the Britain that we used to imagine like 50 years ago.
No.
To the Britain now. It's a
Not
completely
even to the
different country.
Britain that we used to imagine during World War II, because that was a much more realistic Britain. Like, for all the people that hate Churchill, if it wasn't for Winston Churchill, the British
They'd be
would be
speaking
speaking
German.
German
Yeah, they'd be speaking German right now.
right now.
Yeah, you betcha.
And the Americans could be speaking Japanese.
That would have been a big blue to win, but yeah.
And I mean, you look at the size of Japan and the damage that they that they
That's
managed.
always amazed me when you just look at the size of them, and it was like they wanted to overtake the world. And just look, and then look at the size of China, who's their neighbours.
Little dogs
I know.
syndrome.
They're
even,
like that.
even same thing with Germany. Look at the size of Germany and all the countries around them, and
Exactly.
Russia. Look at the size of Russia.
Humongous.
And you've got Germany invading Russia.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
And
crazy.
like, you think about it, I said this the other day, how stupid, like this is with Trump's talking about amalgamating the Israeli army with the United States military, intelligence and stuff like that. Imagine how stupid Stalin felt when he thought he was going to
Yeah,
go
they
into
switched-
a compact with
Germany,
Germany.
yeah.
I will just sign a piece of paper and I'm sure he'll be good. He'll stick to
this
his
is where I
word.
say
And
there's,
then
there's huge
they
gaps.
get run over by Hitler.
Yeah, there's huge gaps. This will go right
You know,
back to
it's
something.
big burns before you learn.
Yeah, man. There's big gaps in things because when you look at the geography and the size and the space,
Yeah.
but you got to coordinate it too. I guess
That's true.
Just because you're huge
But how would
doesn't
they
mean
take
you're heavy.
over? How would a little country take over such an enormous?
Just because
But
you're
they
huge.
did a damn good job trying.
I know, but
They
you
annihilated
wouldn't-
fucking
yeah,
hundreds of
But you
thousands.
wouldn't have thought that before, though. That's the thing.
Well, just because you're huge doesn't mean you're heavy.
That's right.
Yeah.
You say? Russia's huge, but in that era, they weren't heavy enough.
And you know,
Well, it turns out they were.
It's little dog syndrome. You walk down the street, there's a guy walking a Rottweiler and a little poodle. The poodle's more likely to fucking attack you than the Rottweiler. You know what I mean? Because they want to make
Their whole-
that was
their
Japan's
whole
small dick
thought
syndrome, they call it.
on defence, but when they're probably overconfident in their size.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But they're well
like us.
And also the ignorance that they
Yes.
they had no knowledge
You
of the
can't
world.
be defeated.
That's
When you
right.
think you can't be defeated, that's what happens
That's
just
right.
before you fall.
Yeah, your head's too big for your boots.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to wrap it up here. So, on the note of being more conservative, I know Maureen will be pleased. Tomorrow, I don't know if anybody else watches it, King of the Hill comes out with season 15. I've been waiting anxiously for like a year and a half.
I like King of the Hill.
I love
I like Boomhauer. He's cool.
Everybody needs to be a bit more like Hank Hill.
Hank's good. Boomhauer's the best, man. He's just so cool.
Well, Boomhauer's like Kenny from
What
South
about
Park. You never
Luann?
understand.
I like Luann.
Yeah, Luann's good.
Luann, but see, Luann's not in the new series.
Oh, how good. What was remember when
She
Tom
died.
Petty? Tom Petty
Who
played her
else died
boyfriend.
too?
I know
Who
he's dead,
voiced Luann? Was it Lacey?
No, it was that girl that died. What's her name?
Have you
Brittany
watched?
Murphy.
That's it.
Have you watched the Hamilton play on Disney Plus?
No.
No,
What's that?
that's the
Alexander
one with the
Hamilton?
black. They've reversed it. Everyone's black.
I know, but you should still watch it. You would really
What's it
like
called?
Hamilton.
Oh, the musical?
Yeah, have you seen it?
No.
If you've
I've
got
heard about
Disney
it, but I
Plus,
haven't
then
seen
watch it. You'll love it. Even if you think that you don't like it, you'll end up liking it.
I've heard it's good.
I didn't think that
Yeah,
I'd
I
like
haven't
it,
seen it or.
but you'll learn a lot about like American history and
I
stuff.
know the
like that.
name Hamilton from a show.
Alexander
Hamilton's
Hamilton.
on one of their
Hamilton. He was like one of the founding fathers.
Yeah, the whole play is about him.
sorry, I
It's
was-
worth
signing of
watching.
the-
I would
Yeah, that
totally
wasn't what I
recommend
was
it.
thinking of.
It's on Disney Plus.
Okay.
So
He's on one of their currency. I don't know which one. though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got a box of their currency over
Well,
there.
I just saw another
got
one
a
advertised this week
Benjamin
about a
Franklin there.
young Washington.
Yeah, that's Angel Studios.
Yeah.
All right, let's watch this.
What is it?
This is the trailer for King of the Hill.
So it's a
Oh, yeah, man.
spoiler for every season before it now.
Hang on, why we've got no? Oh, hang on.
We've got no
Oh,
audio.
bloody hell!
Go back to
I
the
had
sound
to.
on.
I muted it. Unmute. I didn't want to play it while it was accidentally. Okay. Go.
Hank, we have plenty of time now that Bobby's out of the house.
Maybe I could do something with my hands. Like I always say, never leave home without your welder's kit.
He does always say that, but I still often forget.
Thanks for coming home with me this weekend.
Now that we're dating, it's important your parents know I'm a man.
Bagman, carry Connie's bags to the door and then be gone.
She called me a man.
Hello, redneck cohort.
Huh, looks like Bobby and Connie are official. Talking about doing no dang old hard launch, man.
Damn you, Bobby Hill!
Peggy, that's against golf etiquette.
What does golf etiquette say about me jamming this club into your mouth?
It's frowned upon.
Hank and I have learned our communication skills could be a little better.
She's got a crush on you.
Oh, no. It's not what it looks like.
What the?
Connie! I'm in jail. Send me money for bail.
Nancy.
Hey, guys.
Y'all have been scammed.
I'm the guy that keeps us prepared and protected.
Well, maybe you aren't that guy anymore.
Ugh, I don't want anyone to think that's my truck. It's electric.
Ow. It's showtime.
He thinks we're just a bunch of freaks and weirdos.
I never said that loud enough for you to hear.
Knew we could count on you, honey.
What are you barking at?
Oh, good God in heaven.
Connie?
What's all the fuss?
We were just warming each other up.
Stop.
That's enough.
Shut up.
Hulu is now on Disney Plus.
We've had no volume that whole time.
I was going to say, I think the audio was turned off.
That's
Thanks
good.
for watching, everyone.
Maybe.
Daz, mate, well done. I really appreciate you tuning in, man. We were thinking the other day after I saw your spiel on Facebook, we're going to work out how to patch Darren in via tech and get him involved with the crew on a sit down and let him say his piece. He's a college of knowledge, me old mate, and can tune a Harley too. So maybe we'll get him. Maybe we'll get him in.
And Debbie Burke wants to come on too.
Oh well,
I don't know if
now
Debbie
there's a
Burke's
crew.
watching.
Now there's a crew.
I don't know if she's watching. Howdy if you are. All right, guys, that's it for another week. Let's wrap it up and say our goodbyes.
Au revoir.
Goodbye.
Wow.
Au revoir.
Bye, everyone.
We'll see you again next time on the Bunker Studio TV Rumble channel, YouTube channel on X, and we are also streaming today on Facebook Live.
Oh, yeah.
So catch us up there, and don't forget to like,
I
subscribe,
didn't know
and
that.
share this stream with your
Yeah, send
friends.
us a few bucks because the times are tough.
Yeah. Attention,
Like,
Steve.
The more people that get eyes on this, hopefully, the more people will wake up to what's going on in our government and step up and make some noise. As much noise as we can make, they can make us louder. So thanks for watching, guys. We're going to, as usual, we keep the faith and we follow the facts and find the fight. Thanks, guys. Mega out.
Thank you for that. That was really good.